Oh.
Oh,
Oh no.
oh no.
Justice.
Well, hello,
Hey,
Primrose.
hey, June, how you doing?
Wrong universe.
No,
She went-
you didn't hear it, did you?
Oh,
But
I did.
She went toaster for a second. Oh no.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay,
There we
Better?
go.
I
Wonderful.
was about to say you were
So-
broadcasting that from the mothership.
Sorry.
That sounded like an actual.
Take me to your
I know
leader.
it was stuff. It sounded like an actual like AI speaking through a crackling broadcast static.
Mhm.
Funny.
To me, it
Hello.
sounded,
McDonald's
to me, it sounded
dragon.
like those strangled Area 51 broadcastings. Yes, anyway.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
My name is Mother.
Yes. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Simple Path. This is going to be our... This is going to be our next session, or... I have to keep refraining from saying last, because it's not last. It's a reminder. On the 20th, I will be going through an operation. It's nothing life-threatening, nothing major, but it is something that's probably going to put me out of commission for a week, maybe two, before I'm probably in shape to run another game. So, for a Saturday or possibly two, the game will go on pause. As if the last time I recovered from the other ankle is any evidence, I will probably be asleep for about 16 hours out of the day for about a week and a half. So we'll see. Now, we return to the simple path that these brave adventurers tread, as they have all coalesced back at the wagon where everybody having gone through various personal goals here within the city, things they may have relegated to explore later after dealing with the tower. The group has reconvened, arriving in various points, all to find a despondent Chico, sat contemplative inside the wagon. There
I
is.
wasn't here last session, so I won't know what to do.
Mhm. Well,
I guess yeah, you weren't.
yeah.
Or
Aiko Maria, who has been sitting, giving Chico as much space as she needs, is holding a vigil outside the wagon with her hammer propped up against one of the wheels and sat on what looks to be an overturned milk bottle crate. As she waits there and greets silently all those who return to the stables.
My Varka, what a refreshing study, wouldn't you say? Chico. Hello. What's going on? How have you been?
welcome.
That cut out. What did you
That
say?
cut out.
Ugh.
We just heard. I was like, okay. I guess that's pretty rough.
No, that was because anyways, let's see if we can do it right this time. Welcome back.
Oh,
Am I? What's going on? Are you sick? Do you have a stomach bug? Can I insight?
I would say
Sure, yeah.
a heal check would show you whether or not she's sick or not.
Specifically, I should specify actually, I'm trying to discern what is wrong with her in any way, like either physically or otherwise.
Heal also encompasses psychiatric treatment.
Oh, it does.
Yes, you can use heal to enact therapy for people who have gone through trauma or who suffer from mental handicaps or illnesses.
that's
Wow,
wild.
it's a good thing I have that at 12.
Wow.
Wow.
Pretty nice.
Hey, it's pretty
Yes.
good.
If somebody goes through rough times and is currently in need of mental care as well, rather than physical care, heal will still suffice.
Ooh.
It's because heal is as much a bedside manner as it is actual medicine.
Nice. Well, yeah. 21.
A 21.
21.
Physically speaking, there's nothing wrong with her. Mentally speaking, she looks drained.
Oh. You don't seem well. I won't pry if you don't want to explain why, but perhaps I should get started on some tea. And that's what I'll do.
All right.
I would say of probably the next to rejoin would likely be Hollow Hollow. Now joined by 2 capybaras. And his bird.
Hello.
Hello.
Right.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
I had forgotten these fucking birds.
Yeah.
There's one more.
The
There's,
sweet.
there's one more in the
Oh,
cart.
the sweet cacophony.
Hello, hello. I
says,
see you and your 3 familiars have returned.
Hello.
Hello.
Make it
I'm
4.
Make
I'm-
it
I'm so-
4.
I'm so proud he can say my name already.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
How come you don't speak to me like that, Vayer? No, I'm kidding.
Bayer looks at you insulted.
Hello.
Would you like me to greet you like that every morning from this point? Shall I bash my brains out on the nearest wall so I can fit these birds' profile?
On second thought, no.
Thank
I
you.
thought you were gonna say yes. On second thought, yes. Yes, actually. I could wish for nothing more.
What's wrong? What's wrong with Chaco?
Junko, as
He
some
would
would say.
Assuming Chaiko doesn't say anything, Maria will speak up and say, I won't say too much on her behalf, as it is a private matter. It's probably best you not pry until she's ready to divulge it, if ever. But it is something sensitive.
Wait till everyone gathers. I'm going to say this once. Please tell me. Please tell me that came through. I'm trying
No,
to. I'm trying
that came through.
Okay,
Loud
I'm,
and
try,
clear.
I'm trying to muffle. I'm trying to muffle my voice, but also keeping it audible. Oh.
Oh yeah, we heard you clearly enough, though with the muffled filter. And also after some time, Siren will emerge with a cup of tea. Chamomile.
Very pleasant. Next, I think to rejoin would probably be Melody, or Mallory, actually, now as he has changed back to his normal attire.
Oh, Mallory, you
Oh.
returned.
Oh no, I changed back on the way back.
Ah, okay. Back to Melody. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm
because
not
You
gonna.
did that. You did that to be recognized by Charlotte.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't want to invoke some weird interests.
Weird interests. Whatever could you mean?
Hello. This place
Hello.
is quiet.
Hello.
All right.
Yeah, actually, yeah. From next to Hollow Hollow, you hear hello, and then from inside the cart, another hello.
Lady of the Light, please keep me strong.
I don't believe the sun can help you. They are not nocturnal creatures.
Okay. That's enough, Karya.
I don't think those creatures are anything. I think their heads are just hollow. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh, I recognize it.
Maria just leans her head down, bopping it against one raised knee. Should have seen that coming. And lastly, to rejoin would be Flick.
Yes, looking
The bandaged up.
better, but still a little bit roughed up.
Flick, you went and got into something interesting without me. I am upset.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I'm doing better now. But let's just say I might have gotten a little bit in over my head, but
Looks to
it's worth it.
Checo. Yeah, looks to Checo, looks to Flick, looks to oh god, what's her name? I can't remember her
Maria?
name. Maria, looks to Maria bashing her head in. Everyone seems to have been in some sort of tussle or engagement. What did I miss?
Well, let's just say I decided I wanted to fulfill a little promise I made to Santiago for a little duel.
You killed that
Found him in
man.
an alley. No, he's not dead. He's not dead. He's actually doing quite well. He invited me to a little meal.
I found him in an alleyway and I attacked him with my sword.
I attacked him. They call
There
me
was-
the
there was
trash
a- there was a
man.
I
so-
killed a man
There was
today.
a sort of, it was this little like, I guess you call it almost like a fight club of sorts in an alleyway.
That sounds
Hmm.
Suddenly, Karya is getting
I-
the awful idea to just go and pick a fight somewhere in a back alley.
Oh
I
no,
guess.
no.
A hobby.
Kari was more so thinking, that sounds terribly violent. I would not enjoy that.
Anyway,
But
I'm
but
still
anyways.
a pacifist. Anyways.
But anyways, I'm back, and he's kind of like hauling himself into the car, and it's a pleasure to see you all. And looking to Chico, kind of, like his face morphing into one of concern. What's going on with Chico?
Well, now that you're
Well,
here, she can explain.
Yes, she can. Also, next time you do duel someone, invite us with you. And I'm just gonna tap him with a cure light wounds before Chico begins.
Yes, Mom.
She'll take a deep breath and go. My father is dead.
What?
Everything I've been working for is null, void, worthless.
My condolences. Want to wait out?
My
You were
condolences
searching
as
for
well.
him.
Since everything is, well, done at this point. Go ahead, ask me any questions. Don't have anything to hide anymore. It's not even worth it.
You were hiding something?
See Maria pinch the bridge of her nose.
We all have our secrets, I suppose. My condolences to you as well, Chico.
Yes, condolences. I'm terribly sorry about this. Even if none of us.
Fun fact, at this point, no one knows the name Trico.
Oh, that's true.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ico.
What it-
Ico. Steve, whichever you'd like to be called.
Actually, I keep forgetting. How did she introduce herself? Was it Chi or Aiko?
It was
It was Ico.
And then
It was Ico first. Then
Oh, okay.
randomly, a girl that came out of nowhere that was, very
Totally
out of
unrelated.
place. Yeah, totally unrelated. Came out and identified themselves as Chi.
Right. So, I'd say Aiko then.
Yes.
Scratch
Same here.
Chico. I said Aiko.
Retcon it.
At this point, Anyways. You're all nosy people. We all are. You must have some questions.
Well, who killed him?
I don't
Well-
know.
Oh, wait. Are we just assuming that it's murder? We don't even know how it happened in the first place. Do you know
That
how
is
it
a-
happened?
Judging by how the downtrodden demeanor, we can only assume.
Well, the demeanor would have also been the case if it were an accident.
I'll
We
explain. She'll sit up, she'll lean up a bit, actually look at everyone now. About 1 or 2 years ago, was it? I think it was
at this
2,
point.
right?
2 years at this point.
We've been
Yeah,
Also,
we've been traveling. for years.
Yes, you were about a year on the run, and it's been about a year since you guys met. Also, all right, thank you for the reset, and Dissy, thank you for the self-care. Everybody, make sure to
Thanks.
straighten your backs and take a sip if you've got a drink with you.
I'm out of water.
Go
I
refill.
can only unstrip myself whenever someone redeems that.
I have several bottles of water and some
my burger
lunch that
brain.
I'm some munching on.
Well, go get some water.
Go refill. This is going to involve a lot of talking, I imagine.
Slop, slop, slop.
A decent chunk. I can make it short. I can make it quick. I can make it long. Anyways,
Doesn't have to be short.
While we're at that, I'll do this as well.
what are you gonna do?
I think I have an idea.
Pulls out confetti.
God damn it, Farah.
Hey, look! Also, hey,
Schlonk,
look,
schlonk,
funny
schlonk,
ad.
schlonk.
Funny, an ad's playing right now.
Yeah, it is.
So
Perfect timing.
That was his gift. Was an ad.
Who's glucking? What did I fucking
No,
do?
Vera, when he, in response to the whole like drinking sound, did his Prime monthly sub, and just the sub message was slop, 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 slop,
Flop, flop, flop.
like
Oh,
a dog
worth it,
drinking.
Gluck, gluck, gluck.
That tracks.
Thank you, Vera.
All right.
Back to the series.
I'm going to proceed now.
Yes.
Once I get my things right. All right. All right. So here's the story. About 2 years ago, back in my hometown, in the Titan's Arm, there's what's known as the Craftsman's Festival. And me and my father participated, and through complications to which I can't remember, an event has happened, and at some point, I blacked out. I don't really remember the festival at all, even. Just, I was there, I was in a jail cell. As I woke, there was a guard sitting there, across from me. He knew me, I knew him. He told me I'm being framed for sabotage, murder, or in any event, I probably was being framed for it. He knew, a lot of people knew, at least I hope so, that wasn't the case. So, before things could happen, he magically dropped his keys in front of me, and turning his back, picked them up, and I left. I've been on the run ever since, because I didn't know what to do then. I should have stayed, I should have done something else, but I ran. Been trying for a year now, before I met all of you, I've been trying to find some sort of lead, to find anything. Then, come today, I'm getting cages for the birds. Happened to run from someone, nobility even, from the Titan's Arm. Young elf, curious, cheerful about the world. To engage in some conversation because, well, she noticed me. I took this chance to try to learn something, and I did. I'm being framed as a runaway. They're still after me, even to this day, apparently. And, well, Not long after that event happened, even, my father perished due to some sickness. But I know damn well I didn't betray my father. I loved him like a dad. He adopted me after all. How could I not? So it has to be someone. Someone has to be doing something. But why? Why me of all people? Why us?
What was it exactly that your father did? I'm assuming he was a craftsman if he was at this fair.
He was a
What's his craft?
blacksmith, like me. Or, well, I was like him after all.
Did he have any rivals?
Of course he would.
Competitors?
Of course. That whole village was built on. That whole festival was built. That whole town is built with a little competitiveness in mind. We all want to be the best at what we do, and a little competitiveness helps you improve. But no, there shouldn't be any rivalries to this extent.
No,
To
there
this
shouldn't.
extent.
On the subject of looking for leads, I thoroughly relate to you. And you've been helping us. We've been traveling thus far together. I can only speak for myself, really, but I feel it is only fair that we help you, since you've been with us up until now.
Help me do
For all
what?
this.
I'm done. I have nothing else. Just wanted to go back home, but now there's not even a home for me to return to.
Well, don't you want to find who did this?
I would
No, I
love
would.
to. I would love to, but I have no clue who, or where, or why anyone would do this. I'm as clueless as I was 2 years ago.
Oh.
The only things I know now is the fact that my father is dead. That's the only new thing I've learned.
Well, I'm not any closer to finding out who, what, or why my village has suddenly disappeared, but I knew this wasn't going to be something easy. No one said it would. And although something isn't easy, that doesn't mean you should just not try. Sometimes, even if you try, you may find out it's not as difficult as you thought. It's just taking the first step, I feel, that is the hardest, but the most rewarding. Like I said before, I mean, I know I'm here to help.
But what can I even do at this point?
Well, though I normally don't agree with Siren's soft-hearted ramblings, no offense.
What?
I
Well, that's fair.
Ouch.
I do have to agree that she is correct. Hmm, I'm not quite good with this. I never have been, but when you lose your direction, in a sense, you will only be able to find a new one. Even though it feels as though you have nowhere to go, that in of itself can be a boon. Though it won't bring your father back, obviously, and though I've never had necessarily a good parental relationship of any kind, so I wouldn't be able to relate, your life is your own, and you may make of it whatever you may wish it to be. As harmful as it is to say, your father's death, though traumatic, may catapult you into something to better yourself. If you words are difficult.
I understand. Essentially, perhaps he didn't pass in vain. Perhaps there was meaning behind it.
Or
Maybe.
more so that now that he's passed, the burden that you've carried for so long, though it was not the ending you sought, it may lead you to a new one that you did not foresee originally.
Do any of you know the name Felgor?
Would we know the name Felgor?
I don't think so.
I would say that's a knowledge history check with a pretty decent DC.
I'll give it a
Okay.
shot. Let's see.
I'll give it a shot as well.
Oh, I'm actually trained. Guidance.
I'm not trained, but I'll give
on-
it a whirl anyway.
I'll also give it a shot.
I'm gonna
Let's
cast
all
guidance
roll
on
history.
Clark for this.
Wow, 11.
Oh, a 5.
Flick, Kari, and Siren, whoosh, right over your heads.
That tracks.
Same
You
with
know
me,
what?
yeah.
You know what? I'll try. Fuck it.
Mark gets a 19.
I rolled a
20 in
natural,
total.
too.
Oh my
That's
god,
funny.
hello.
Very
Oh my
very
god!
Holy!
Whoa.
Interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
You know, after that, I'm not gonna roll. Not
Very
because I'm not
interesting.
trained or.
Yeah,
Just
how
don't wanna roll.
how come the sea elf knows who Felgor is?
I'm not going to say he knows who he is because
Well,
the
let me
DC,
at least have.
DC to know who Falgor is as a craftsman would have been a DC 30. However,
Ooh.
however,
Oh, I would have never made it.
Yeah, no, I would not be able to make that.
DC 25 will get you something. Holla. When he says, well, when she says Falgor, think for a second. Try to draw a connection. If you ever heard something like that, it's unlikely. You live way far away, especially from the Titan's Arm of all places. Gods knows, or the Coop one know. You barely have any relations with the seafaring elves as it is. More concerned with your own kind. And then it sparks in your head and goes, you have a recollection of a series of well-honed knives that were traded into the village one day as you remember a tall, broad-shouldered human man with a big salt and pepper beard, speaking with your shaman, your village shaman, when you were very young. And you were ushered out of the tent, and there was a conversation in hushed whispers that eventually grew louder and louder. And being the curious sort you were, perhaps you took a peek into the tent and you would have seen the two of them drinking some of your island's specialty wine made from kelp and sea scales. And laughing, talking, and here and there you would remember some words traded, especially given your excellent memory, about words about fatherhood and the challenges and the silly moments. And you would have seen, as it reached a crescendo, you would have seen the human, tan-skinned, arms marked with scars and burns of decades past. Obviously, a honed smith, passing over a well-oiled teak box, which your shaman opened and revealed a set of simple but well-honed knives with undecorated but lacquered handles, and the blades, single-sided, shaped almost like a tanto, or more, I should say, more a jeet. On each blade was finely etched, possibly with acid, would have been the name Felgor. In exchange, the shaman who raised you, along with the rest of the village, would give the man in exchange a necklace with a small, deep blue stone on it. Draco would know that her father would have left one day, supposedly to go secure some sort of deal or to learn new techniques from fellow craftsmen, some other thing that he often did sometimes. He was gone for an extended length, but when he came back with a sea stone necklace. Completely unrelated, I assure you. Hello, you do recognize that name.
The man with the knives.
Oh, when you look at that, someone does know.
I would like to invoke a trait I have.
What's that?
Arrow the Night Historian allows me to reroll a failed History, Arcana, or Religion check by rolling one of the other three.
Okay.
That's pretty
So-
baller, by the way. Holy shit.
Guidance.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's a toughie to rationalize, but sure, you can try rolling Arcana or
Yeah.
Religion.
Yeah.
It's a neat trait. Hard to rationalize.
How about we do Arcana and I say I read it in the books of one master?
Let's go for it.
I was also going to say Arcana could decently work because, wouldn't be too strange for him to make some magical items here or there.
That's true. He did craft the occasional magical weapon.
The bonus is basically the same. I'm just hoping for a better roll than a natural 2.
Holo will also
Huh?
say, my kahuna also gave him a necklace, a blue one.
25.
25.
Nope.
In your case, Bark, yes, you would have gotten it through pouring through, specifically, not through any history books or even a diary. Just out of sheer boredom one day, you would have read through some of her trade ledgers. And indeed, sometimes your master would just conjure up weapons if she needed them for enchanting purposes or experimentation. But when she needed quality masterwork weapons, she had this list, a very short list of people she would contact, and one of them was called Felgor. Basically, it was a short list of trusted metal workers that she could rely on to make items for engraving with magic.
In that case, following Holos and Icos exchange, Walk would pipe up from the back. He's like sitting at the entrance of the cart. My master once spoke of a Felgor in her letters. But I
Makes
have not
that
met
too.
myself.
Interesting. For a man who...
It's
a
a
man
book
of
club.
Titan's Arm.
Never underestimate the book club.
I'm honestly surprised his name was out there. I'm glad, but... Anyway...
He drank a lot
Felgor...
He drank a lot of our wine.
Yeah, he always did love his alcohol. Said it helped him focus, but who knows. Anyway, Felgor, my father, he was a blacksmith. In case that wasn't obvious by what I've said before. In a Titan's Arm, he was not the greatest, but one of the big names out there. And I, his daughter, and also his apprentice, I've always wanted to learn more from him, to do what he could, but here we are, present day, things change. Should look at the group again. Sure, look at the group again. What is my name to you group? Fuck.
Group.
Yeah. What is my name to this group again?
Aiko?
Advisor.
Probably Ico.
Yes, it's Aiko. Looks at Karya.
Bad fox swimmer lady.
case that wasn't obvious. Had a nickname back then, but that's not my name. Or at least fully.
What is your name?
Chico. She'll do a very a belated slow unenergetic huzzah motion.
Jazz hands.
Yeah.
Nice to meet
Jazz
you,
hands.
Jacob.
My
Varg
name's
mimics it. No facial expression.
Chico.
It's very
I
nice to
feel
meet
like
you, Chico.
I feel like we've known it for almost a year, but it was just out of reach.
Keep our
Yep,
tongues.
that was the plan. Have any more questions, or is that all?
What was your plan? The names. Were you hiding?
Yes. Oh, I guess that wasn't. I didn't get that through to you. I'm a wanted criminal, don't you know?
I wouldn't know, not from you.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure at some point it was mentioned at least towards a group. You know,
Yeah, you
you know, especially at the bar where we first met Santiago and Co, where Aiko was looking for a young girl who's wanted. Let me. If you didn't connect the dots, you didn't connect the dots. No.
It could
But-
very well be that Varg was in flower crown trance at that point.
that you know
so.
what?
I think he
Probably-
was. I think he was staring
Yes,
into
yeah.
a pond at the
He was
time.
in.
I was finding a hobby.
He was in sugar flower trance.
That's
Hmm,
right.
yes.
Right.
Flavors.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah, I'm the criminal, so I had to hide my name, my appearance. Well, she looks at her Vulpine form. She'll switch to her human form. Almost everyone knows me as this. As Chico. She'll gesture towards her human self. Much like my father, who was human. Since I wanted to be just like him, and being a kitsune myself, I at least had the ability to look human. And it was just that little bond that made us feel ever so much closer. As such, almost everyone knows me as human. Some obviously remember what I truly am. Most don't care. Doesn't matter anymore anyways. Everyone who knew me is probably long forgotten about me now.
This whole conversation that we're having, do we get the sense that we're, like, in. Do we have some privacy?
You are currently in the
Or-
stables.
Like, if I looked hard enough, could I see someone maybe trying to eavesdrop or something?
Is there a reason why I'm at the entrance? Just
If you want to
outside
check,
of the
see if
wagon?
you're being eavesdropped on, that would be a perception.
If you bring it up, Holo you can do his funny hidden table.
Yeah.
I think
Uh,
Siren would say, perhaps just make sure, for the sake of Chaika here, that we are sufficiently obscured from.
Why
prying
should
these
I
minds.
care? Why should you care?
Oh, I care about a lot of things.
Holo still, I guess, upon you saying that, Holo will just snap his fingers and then bam, hidden table.
As far as, yeah, Siren, as far as you can tell, nobody's peeping in, nobody's looking. You're currently in the city stables, so there are sometimes people passing through, but none of them seem to be leaning in to listen or eyeing you beyond the initial weirdness of your party. The size of your horses, Jesus Christ. But beyond that, doesn't seem like anybody's like trying to listen in. But in comes the silent table. You guys are now isolated. And as the silence sets in, it is punctuated as the leather of Lady Maria's gloves crunches and grinds on the grip of her hammer. She seems to be wringing her hands along the haft. And then she speaks up and says, "How do you know he's dead?"
Don't.
I've spent a long
She'll
time
turn.
working for nobles. One overly excited young girl with the disposition of a young yapping dog, prone to gossip, is not verifiable intelligence. I've worked in the service of my king for a while. One of the first things we were taught was to verify information that you get. I noted a lot of inconsistencies, both a description of you and of your demeanor and your actions. And if that was inconsistent, then there is every reason to doubt that your father might be dead.
That's
And if you
I feel
want,
like not a bad. Oh, sorry.
and
go
I
ahead.
don't extend this offer lightly, but I sympathize with you, and that is why I'm making this offer. I don't do this with a light heart. But if you want, when we return to Lorbus, as a personal favor, I will request that my king extend his reach into the Titan's arm and make inquiries for nothing else to see whether or not that's actually true. Because my heart breaks to see you like this.
She'll take a deep breath. Yes, she was an excitable young girl who very much had the qualities. Someone who loved gossip. Yes, gossip, while more than likely is unreliable, still comes from somewhere. There's a source to it. And, well, whether it's true or not, I hope to the stars above it's not. But after hearing nothing for 2 years, and just haphazardly hearing this from a young girl from who looks to be nobility even.
You think maybe they told you that so you wouldn't look? I know
No,
it sounds odd, but
they had
don't you
no
think they
idea
do
who
that
I
sort of
was.
some sort of tactic, perhaps?
That doesn't discount
Are
the
you
possibility
sure?
of misinformation. She may not have been trying to mislead you, but whoever put that information out there may have.
That is true. Even I am not sure of the whereabouts of my father is alive or dead, and he's. Well,
A massive red dragon.
yes, that.
That's hard to miss.
Someone had their village disappear. A dragon, an ancient dragon, has disappeared without a trace. You would be surprised how much misinformation and mystery there's still out there. I don't do this to give you false hope, but if it's a reason to keep going, then it's something worth clinging to.
Fine. I accept your help. It wouldn't hurt to find out more. But if what I know, if what I think is true is really true, I hope to God he isn't dead. I can't take this anymore.
Well,
Find out what happened.
Yeah,
if you are willing to face your past, after we finish with this business with Vark, I see no reason why we can't make a stop.
Mhm.
She'll cock an eye and look towards Karya. Surely you don't mean to go to the Titan's arm next. Surely.
I have one goal, and it has not even been found, so until then, I have nothing else to do. And I can't have my future advisor in such dour states. It would be very unfortunate.
Future advisor? What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, I've never actually brought this up to you. We'll speak on this at a later time. He just waves you off. The point remains.
Wait, we're members of the court? Huh?
You know what? I don't care anymore.
There's many stops to make along the way. And since you've revealed, so to speak, your secret, if it makes you feel any better, well, I guess Vark knows at this point, but my dad's a celestial sky noodle, as it were. So there's my
Flick
secret
does
too.
Flick does a double take his eyes, like, wait,
Desert snake, not sky noodle.
what?
I call it sky noodle.
I think
want
Skynet.
cheese.
So is that where the and he kind of mimes like placing a hand like next to his head, where these come from? Your feathers?
And the scales, which she lied to me at one point and told me were tattoos.
What? I thought you actually believed that. Regardless, anyways.
So it's the fact that you're the reason why I hear the Fleminsky accent is because you're half pasta, not because you're a human being.
You're half pasta.
Listen. Oh,
You were
listen
descended
here.
from the flying
This-
spaghetti monster.
Okay. Well, yes, that's true. Spaghetti Sky Noodle Man. But right now the focus is on Chico. I just wanted to make you feel a bit better about revealing such a secret that had been close to your heart. I felt like it was only fair.
I would do the same if I had any. But yes.
Vayer actually looks up and gives you a pointed look.
Okay, well the deep thing was a little different. We weren't sure about that.
You know, if I wasn't so emotionally distraught right now, I'd stand up and yell your fucking ear out for that deep stuff, but I just need to think for a bit.
Well, thankfully you have all the time in the world to think, as I believe we are to set off soon. Not to rush you, but the cart of all places.
Not so soon. I had a few places I want to go to. Since
So-
we're in town, might as well.
Maria also pipes up and says, and we've still got the inn booked for the night. You guys need to get some proper sleep before we tackle this issue.
Ah, yes.
Also, I'm still waiting for
Right.
corroboration from Jane and John.
Oh, where have they been?
Is
Where
it-
did they say they'd go?
Last I saw
Hold on.
They've
They
been
were
very.
burning-
Holo has a flashback.
They've been doing what none of us were probably would be able to do. They've been making inroads with the local criminal syndicates and inquiring about this new group that's formed in the area. Supposedly they're fairly new bloods, but they've been making waves and have been grabbing at power very voraciously. This is probably our culprits. Possibly. We can't discount the possibility of a puppeteer in the background, but as it is right now, it's a group of upstart criminals trying their best at trying to mimic the families of the underworld here in Rosaina. My best guess at the moment for their motivations is someone may be offering them hefty pay, or they just simply see great profit from profiteering off of Vair's inheritance. Is it Vair? Bark.
Vair.
Vair.
Vair, I can't
Dragon
believe
Horde,
it.
yes.
Technically, that is true. There is a horde there.
Other things to be potentially noted is that we keep odd company, and that itself might also be something to be wary of. In Vark, in your case, you are a planar oddity. You may want to be careful about these people. They're looking to profit off of literally anything they can. Same goes for Vair and for Karya, as you two are not only draconic, which is a rarity, but you are also an unknown type of dragon, which itself is another reason why somebody may try to slam you in a cage and dissect you. Or
Yes, I
sell
did
you
get
to a
that
school who will do that in their stead.
I did get that understanding when I walked those halls that I was being stared at.
Society Quadratica is notably more polite about their investigations. It's also why they're a legal organization, unlike these churlish rags that we're dealing with. Jane and John Doe should be back with us, I'm hoping by the end of tonight with more information. Hopefully, if their efforts are bearing more fruit, than simply gathering information. We may also be making moves to try and sabotage their efforts to meet us at the tower.
Knowing
And you're sure they can be trusted?
I trust them.
Well, that's
Bef-
enough for me.
Before this, I would have said without a doubt.
One moment, the baby's awake. I'll be right back.
The simple fact that they didn't come out of the bushes and kill us in our sleep and feed us to the monster tells me that they were not whatever happened to Jorik didn't happen to them. So I can still say they have for years loyally served the king. And if they wanted to, they could disappear. They could turn into anybody and be gone. But I do trust them. They've had my back on missions before, and I've had theirs. I never found out their real names. I don't know who they are, what their occupations are. That's the job. But insofar as fulfilling their capacity as royal spies and assassins, I trust them.
I see.
knowing my reputation, I've got to be careful around these ruffians as well.
Yes,
I don't have any I don't have any kind of leads yet, but I mean, I have a bit of a hunch, and if I'm not careful around them myself, they might try and rat me out to a certain somebody.
That's the case.
You never
Then
know.
a low profile and as few witnesses as possible is the doctor's order.
Precisely.
Hopefully, if we manage to rout them before or during this issue with Vark's Master's Tower, then that may scuttle their attempts to build a power base here within the city, and the families will do away with them naturally. That is about as far as I think we should meddle in another country's affairs, especially people of our station. It should not be our job, and it's not our place to meddle in another country's politics beyond that which affects our own. What you decide to do afterwards is entirely you. Though I do, if I remember correctly, I do think my my liege will be wanting to catch in on that favor when we return. Whatever inane plan he has cooked up. Last I checked, I think I remember him muttering something about fish.
Fish?
I don't pry anymore. You just got
Holo
a piece
Holo
of shrug.
pokes his,
Understandable.
Holo pokes his head up, fish.
I'm tired. Where is he in that?
Yeah, Maria will get up and we'll, assuming that the conversation is done and the silent table is no longer needed, Maria will trot out of the stable and gesture towards a small, decent quality inn just down the road. The night is paid for all of us. And you're all free to go and bed down whenever is convenient for you. Echo, I'll leave you your space.
And oh no, and away Chico goes.
Quest I sent you last week still. It should still be in PMs. What I wanted to have Siren go do. And let me just mark this.
And because I have a sneaking suspicion, I sent them to you, dearest Quest.
Oh no.
This specifically, I would like to finish tonight still, but I don't know how long that would take.
You could do that. Just need a craft roll.
Mhm.
I'd say it's craft woodworking, probably.
Okay.
Skill points.
Oh, I don't have. I have just the craft skill, but there's no specified group. So would I just type in woodwork?
Yes, whenever you put skill points into craft, you have to designate a group or a
Oh,
craft
I didn't
type.
designate it.
In this case, if what you were aiming for was what I think it is, then it would be.
Yeah, sure. That makes the most amount of sense. I'll go for that.
Do you have ranks?
I do. No, I don't. I have
No.
0 ranks in it, but I'm trained in it.
You're not trained. You have it as a class skill.
Oh, a class
You
skill.
need at
that's
least
what that
one
is.
rank to be trained in something. You can still attempt it,
Oh.
but it will be amateur work. You can still attempt it.
Okay, I'm not looking for it to be like professional.
Mhm.
Just
It's
well enough
it's a
made.
start down a very long journey, eventually.
Okay. I'm gonna give myself guidance. Oh wow!
Okay, 1 second.
uh, Also, does this consume the kit, or at the very least the
No.
block of wood that I used?
It consumes the block of wood, but the kit itself is knives and dowels and files and stuff like that. That won't be consumed with one use.
Right.
So
Okay.
this is
Depending on the
my
end
first
result,
time.
I might redo it.
I swear to God, I've never seen I've never seen Siren's last name. So when I saw that last name, I misread it as Shara Ishvalda for a second. I was like, oh.
She's a wind spirit,
Oh.
not an earth spirit, silly.
Yeah,
That's why she vibrates.
and then she
Oh,
starts
God.
vibrating, and the earth starts trembling around us until
Mhm.
some hell beast comes up from the ground. I'm like,
Sandy.
oh God, no, no.
She's tapping more into her other side of her heritage, and she just starts slowly vibrating in place.
Yeah, she vibrates so much she starts cutting through the fucking earth with her vibrations. Just oh shit.
Yes.
I can think of other applications. Anyway,
Did you see my DM, by the way?
one
real
second.
quick.
I am addressing one thing, and then I'll jump right to that.
Ready?
Have we gone quiet? I can't tell.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah,
just
we
just
got.
typing up the DM.
No, it's all good. Addie's running a bit of a fever, so I was moving through the
Oh,
house
no.
while I'm getting. No, nothing bad. Just like 99, so it's not even that bad. I was moving through the house, and I know I had a lot of dead zones. I wanted to make sure that I didn't like lose you guys.
You're fair. That's. I misread Siren's name as Shara Ishvalda, and now that
I
image
heard
is-
that. Yeah, I heard. I was like, oh yes, of course.
and I'm over here like, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, bro. Fucking.
Oh.
Her last name, I did the same tactic that I always do for naming D&D characters. I go to a name generator for a specific race, in this case elf, and Vishara seemed pretty, so I chose that.
That is a pretty name
I mean,
for
it's a
real.
lot simpler than my method, which is I think of a letter that sounds very soft, and then I start putting other soft or harsh sounding letters together, and then I start face slamming on the keyboard with all of those at the base, and then I pull a name out of that.
That's a good tactic, though.
I heard a couple oh no's. What happened?
Oh no. I'm
Yes.
kidding.
Oh no.
Oh, the cart fucking blew up.
What? Well, I'm glad I'm not in it.
I blew it
You
up.
were.
It
You
was
died.
me.
You're gone.
Yeah, you
No,
New
died,
character.
dude. You
no.
fucking died. Remember how we were worried that my dad might come back? Yeah, he turns out he's fucking here.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, it was
turns
Jake and
out-
John
whole time.
Warren.
That's
Yeah,
what
turns out
those
he
that's what
was-
those rumors of a dragon being around was for. There we go.
and then he hit the gritty on our corpses.
Yeah, he Fortnite danced on us and then he left.
God.
Exactly.
Okay, well, so what really
Came
happened?
in, creased your J's.
No,
flew off.
nothing.
Anyway,
I
Hey, man,
misread
the only
Theron's
visiting from
name.
mom.
I
Yeah.
misread Theron's name as something else. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah, the snake noodle.
Snake noodle.
Pasta.
I'm gonna draw Siren's dad as a worm on a string now.
No, can you
No,
draw
I
him as like
think
one of those pool noodles, please?
Yeah, draw him as a pool noodle with eyes
I was gonna.
and a halo.
Oh God,
I
fucking
will.
Alquang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
I was gonna say you can make it look like Quest Worm.
Oh yes.
Quest
My-
worm.
That's an old
not the
memory.
quest worm.
Quest
Oh,
PP.
Not
Quest
the not the Queeness.
Not the queeness.
Not that queen.
Queeness.
Two very different
Not
pieces of
the
fan
Queen.
work. Anyway, so with that little bit of narration delivered, incognito,
Mhm.
I believe
Oh.
Siren spends a bit of time staying up in her room, seemingly working on something. At one point, anybody who was still awake would have heard it. And then, yes.
Oh, I still wanted to stop by the churches too, but I'm assuming we can do that tomorrow.
Yes,
Wednesday.
yes, you could.
If Jane and John come that night, I wanna talk to them.
Would you say that to Maria?
Yes.
She looks at you, up and down, looks at a deep sigh and says, I can't do that. At least I can't have you standing there when they deliver the report. What I can do, however, is relay what parts of the intel I am allowed to after they've made their report in. If you
Oh,
want
I'm not there for the intel.
you want to speak to them.
Yes, I want to speak to them over some affairs beyond this whole Bark and Lydia situation.
Would warn you they're not typically ones for conversation. And they're probably not going to stick around very long, so don't count on a lot of questions being answered. But if you want to
I'm
ask them
aware.
some questions, I'll let them know. That way that they don't immediately suspect foul play when you just show up.
All right.
All right then. So yeah. Does anybody else have anything they want to do before night sets in?
Just doing my happy dance. Don't mind me.
Okay.
Happy dance.
Presumably
dance.
before I headed back to meet with the others at the cart lake, before all of this, I presumably bid Santiago a farewell.
Oh yeah, you had a very companionable conversation over lasagna before a very friendly goodbye and a redaction of not goodbye until next time.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
they're broskies.
yes.
They're roommates, guys. They're roommates.
They're rivals.
And they were
Romance.
roommates.
And they were roommates.
What?
And they were
No,
dual
honestly,
mates.
what dual mates? Yeah, what part of Santiago would ever hint that he might be ragingly bisexual?
Pretty much
Now,
everything.
Now, is he gay or is he European?
All I will say is he is both, and a cat is fine too. Anyway,
or is he metrosexual, whatever that means?
well, metrosexual means you're straight, but you dress like you're stereotypically gay.
Okay, never mind then. Never mind then. Totally bisexual.
Yeah. And some people mistake it for being straight but having a sense of fashion, but that is very different. Because being metrosexual does not necessarily mean you have a good sense of fashion.
What would that be called then?
So what you're saying is all the JoJo characters are metrosexual.
It would be
unless
called
proven
being.
otherwise.
It would be called being straight and giving a damn about how you look.
There.
Nah, it's gay.
That's totally gay. Yes.
Gay.
Anyway,
Gay.
talks of the complexities of societal definitions of sexuality aside and their stereotypes. We can have a whole lecture and essay on that due tomorrow later. Instead,
on
Santiago
on
is
your
just amorous. Yes, exactly.
Just
no,
amorous.
Santiago
Someone's
Santiago's
furiously
sexuality.
typing a
Santiago's sexuality is carpe diem.
Someone furiously typing a Santiago X flick fanfic in
Oh,
the
God.
background.
He would
It would
not
be
be
called swordplay.
a.
Okay, listen, before we get into what I do in my downtime, we don't need to actually focus on that.
But yes, Santiago would not be opposed. But then again, a bit early for that, and also they just get done
Yes.
jabbing each other with other swords. So
Yeah,
Uh,
nearly dying.
so yes,
They just got done penetrating each other.
Setting the Fight Club late at
And-
night.
and yes, they had their fluids all over each other.
Oh yes,
Oh.
oh yes, oh yes, Flick's long barbed sword. I see. Thank you very
Mhm.
much.
Large Tajaron trunk.
God damn it!
Oh god, this is quickly devolving.
God damn it! Fuck
This is
you!
quickly
Oh,
escalating.
fuck you!
It's degenerating, is what it is. Anyway, so
You're welcome,
As-
Pue.
assume. Yes. Next thing we know, I guess. Would Karya or would Siren be the lusty Argonian maid? I think Karya would. He's the most
I
reptilian.
think
Sorry, would most
Vair.
definitely be.
I think
Vair in a maid
Siren.
dress. Oh my.
Actually,
know
you
you-
know what?
I have
I
to
changed my
check.
answer.
Okay,
I
okay.
changed my
Before the
mind.
end of the
I'm
session,
simply
remind
What
me. I'm
is
drawing Vair in a
Siren?
maid dress.
What is
good
Siren
Vair, what are you
writing
doing?
in her
I'm
downtime?
Yeah. Vair, what are you wearing? I'm simply enjoying my life. I told you this already.
I told you I wanted to clean up my
This is
life.
my hobby.
Snooty trot.
What? So, assuming that means nobody has anything else they want to get done and out of the way before they bed down for the night, then
I need to hold a
Malady.
music.
Yes,
Yes.
Malady. There's a knock at your door. Which way would opening it would show that it is Maria in front of your door, now in not quite night clothes, but in a tunic and a very obvious knife tucked into her boot. She says, "John and Jane are we've briefed, debriefed, and intel has been shared. If you want to talk to them before they head back out, then now's the time."
Thank you. And Malady will head out over to John and Jane.
They will be in Maria's room, who will follow you. Seeing as is her room. And yeah, they're sat on the end of the bed next to each other. Are two identical looking, I want to say,
They were changelings, weren't they?
yes, they were.
Yeah, they were.
Just trying to remember
Mhm.
what appearance I gave them. Yes. Two pale-looking individuals with firmly androgynous features. They both look very similar to one another, though they're one has long, shaggy black hair tied back in a loose ponytail, and one has a bird's nest of brown as he leans against one of the bedposts, affecting a somewhat more masculine posture. Presumably, that would be Jane and John, respectively.
Well, hello, Jane. Hello, John.
They nod to you.
I have come with a part request, part proposition. This has nothing to do with your current position as Lorbus spies, but more so over your capabilities. as such. I respect your efficiency and I respect how fast you get to work. Fluff aside, I need a spy network. In Naya. Or at least I need information about potential allies who are dissatisfied with the current regime in Naya, who can probably be bribed while prioritizing loyalty and discretion.
Now, to reaffirm that, is that in Naya or is that in the duchies?
Oh, in Naya, I'm currently oh wait, no, actually let's do I'd say both.
Boy. Spycraft.
Yes, spycraft. And both the Lion Kingdom and the new United Duchies.
Maria gives you an interesting look, while Jane and John look to each other, both quirk an eyebrow at one another, then look to you.
I don't know what it is you might want or you might need, but I'm willing to negotiate a price. If this is below your pay grade, or at least you feel like it's beneath you, and then you can feel free to walk out. However, I am willing to work with you, and I have already found a potential ally and a potential channel to the Nyans. Or at least the royal family.
That gets you another interesting look from all three, really. The one you presume to be Jane, in particular, seems to be intrigued by this. And they don't seem to say very much, or anything at all to one another, as they look each other in the eyes, and there's what can only possibly be some form of non-verbal conversation just being communicated through eye contact. They might be psychic for all you know, but as it is right now, it just kind of looks like they're looking at one another as if thinking the same thing and asking whether or not, or asking each other questions purely through inference.
Though I will be fair, make no mistake, I am not I'm not someone to claim that working against the Nyans is purely for justice. I have my own reasons for getting to them. Particularly vengeance motives, but nothing that will cloud my judgment.
Jane relaxes back onto her seat on the end of the bed a little bit, while John draws up a bit to stand a little bit taller, staring down the bridge of his nose at you as the very familiar act of sizing somebody up takes place, this time in twin tandem, as they visibly, or as they proverbially dissect you with their eyes.
If you two are going to do that, then I might as well just. And Mallory will, with the sort of flick of his long hair, have his nightgown changed into his standard Mallory garb. The male one. Though without horns still, since he's not yet at the point of growing that out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as skilled in disguises as you two, but I know a fair bit.
The two of them, in unison, push off the end of the bed and begin approaching.
Well, he's gonna stand still. He's gonna keep his arms folded, keep an upright look. Try not to, at least doesn't seem very unnerved or intimidated. This is pure business.
Mhm.
And what they're discussing is fairly risky business, so he completely understands.
Two of them begin to, they draw close to you until they're within a couple steps of you. Just on that fine line of invading your personal space. As they still seem to be pulling you apart with their eyes, and then they begin pacing in circles around you in opposing rotations. Jane clockwise, John counterclockwise, as they seem to trace a couple of rounds around you, looking you up and down. The whole time, not a sound is made besides the very soft clack of their leather boot heels on the wooden floorboards. And then Jane's thin, pale lips part for the first time you've ever seen. We're both, and then John chimes in, very busy people, as then to Jane, the king keeps us very much well employed, and John, well looked after. I very much doubt that you have anything to offer us. Whether it's information, or goods, or money. Now, that doesn't mean that we aren't in the market to help out somebody in need, especially somebody who really, really needs it. And they stop in front of you, looking towards one another. Jane has her hands folded behind her back, and John has his arms crossed in front of his chest. We're not going to be your spies for hire. But what we can do is get in touch with people. And if you already have an in with a Nyan royal family, which, by the way, good job looking into that one. And I think we can help open some roads. We're not going to do the work for you, but we should be able to make things easier. After that, it's all going to be up to you. After all,
Mallory.
you're very busy
Oh.
bees, they say in perfect unison.
Mallory, the typically cold-looking person, will smile for once. And is there a table?
There's a couple. There's a bedside table next to the bed. On both sides, there's a small coffee table in the corner with a little flower pot on it.
Oh, then he will pull up the chair from the table with the flower pot and take a seat. I'll say, well then we have a bit of discussion to do.
Well, we can't stay very much longer. Still got a job to do. But once our business here within Rosaina is concluded, we can always talk about it on the way back.
That's most agreeable.
In the meantime, we have a bunch of criminal yahoos to sabotage. And with that, they will both give you a bow. Again, perfect unison, same angle. Down, both up. And John moves over to the window, which he slides open. And the both of them pull themselves out and exit into the night. Or sliding the window shut behind them, disappearing. So enjoy your dinner, June. Yes. With that, they're gone, like apparitions in the night. And then Maria
Oh,
huffs a
Maria.
sigh in the corner and goes, "They are an interesting pair."
Oh, he stands up. I got what I wanted.
I'm sure you did. I don't know if you have any idea what you've signed yourself up for. But that's your problem now. I never get involved in those two's extracurricular activities.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've already traded a portion of my life to a devil, as you've already seen.
Yes, and that was a
I'm-
poorly thought idea.
It's like only a couple days. What's a couple days? So long I don't know.
I'm going to not comment on that besides the obvious.
Oh.
It takes a couple days off your lifespan. It's true. What's not certain is whether or not that means you're going to die a couple days before you accomplish your big goal and you die short of the finish line. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Well, I felt like it was information well exchanged.
That's your call. I won't denigrate you for it. Just saying. And then we'll pull off her tunic, now revealing a simple white nightgown, and say, "I need to get some sleep." As you do probably as well.
Yes. And he will, with the sleeves mini garments, go back to another white nightgown.
Very
And
convenient.
move up. Yes, incredibly. And they stay clean.
I may have to pick ones up myself, though definitely not the more Donnie brand. He says, commentating on your nightgown, which is very roughly.
Yeah.
I believe it was the
Okay.
Baroque version that you were wearing.
There were two versions, I know that much.
There was the Goth and the Baroque.
Oh yeah. At first I tried the Baroque. I switched to wearing the Goth standard.
Mhm.
And then I kept the Baroque.
Ah, okay. So it said you have very gothically themed nightwear. You look like you're going to a funeral.
Well, gotta live every day like it's the one I want it to be.
Yes. Very convenient to be walk around in your coffin wear. Anyway. Go. Shoot. I have beauty sleep to catch up on. Lots enough of it on this trip as it is.
Alright.
That you are
He's
shooed
been,
out of
he's been shoot off.
Yes. The night passes. Warning breaks. June is busy having dinner, so we can't do the church thing. Which is a shame. But, regardless. Yeah. You all rouse in turn, some of you having gotten less sleep than others, potentially. But indeed, you all do eventually wake up. It's the day. The wagon is hitched.
I like to imagine Holo Holo's ASMR machine is just the bird saying hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Hello.
the capybara is chittering in one ear as they snore on your side, and then the hoopo on your other side just. Oh. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Oh, this was a great investment. No one can tell me otherwise.
It kicks occasionally in its sleep. It's not a hard kick. It's more just kind of like a swipe, and it's very anemic. The claws aren't even sharp.
How the hell is this thing alive? Evolutionary?
The claws are just there to hold it upright in the dirt. Really, that's a good question. How this thing is, how this species even propagated. By all rights, it
Don't
should have
worry about
dodoed
it.
itself.
I'm
I thought
convinced
dodos were
it
just
did.
eaten to death.
Yes, because they had no sense of self-preservation because they grew up on an island with no natural predators.
Yes.
Ah, yeah. Fair enough.
Honestly, it's pretty based.
Yes, the wait, noise machine with hollow birds. Anyway, that's an idea. But yes, you all wake up. Make it moving. Hello.
Very good.
That is your morning greeting when all of you come back to the cart. Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Oh.
yes.
Hello. We have Hoopa Hoopa, we have Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
Hello. I say, Flick just turns to both of them and says, "Hello, hello."
Hello. Hello.
Oh, yes. Hello, hello's children are here.
Gosh,
Like in a
it's
more
too
and
early
more.
in the morning for this.
Morning.
There's no shame in having a... Did it just say good morning?
Morning. Hello.
Oh no!
I told you that they had intelligence. Is that the one that Chico granted its intelligence and then swiftly snuffed it?
Holo's gonna put like a we don't talk about that in front of him, like type of thing. Like
Just
We
ducking
don't
low,
talk.
one finger to his lips, just in case the gods get smitey. Yes. Yeah. The birds do for a bit as people exchange morning greetings. Go morning, hello, hello, and then eventually just kind of revert back to just hello.
This is proof of concept. We may actually be able to cultivate that researcher's information before she can. And perhaps we'll finish her study. Is that frowned upon?
depend.
Possibly.
I think it would be appropriate to credit her though.
I don't give a shit about academics. Where's the money?
This is Mallory just
Yes.
actually gonna.
Mallory,
No.
Mallory, the Thomas Edison of the
Thomas Edison
of simple path
of
intellectual.
fantasy realm.
I'm not here to better
It
humanity.
for,
Where's my patents and money?
Now watch me
For-
electrocute this elephant.
For legal reasons, this is a joke. For a lot of legal reasons, it's a joke.
I can
Loses
I
all
can
of his
see
dollars.
I can see Mallory executing someone like that just to prove a point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Look at the power of electricity while I kill this innocent animal.
yeah.
Look at the power of electricity while I smite this person.
You know, just TLDR, fuck Thomas Edison. Anyway,
Yeah.
Fuck
Regardless of
Thomas
the
Edison,
obvious.
no more homies hate Edison.
Edison was greedy. Tesla was insane. Electricity was invented by crazy, greedy people. That was it.
yes,
Even
but
going
Tesla's
back- even
electricity
going back
was
to like the
there.
basis, even going back to the basis of electricity channeling. When we look at Ben Franklin, who went, "I've got a brilliant idea," stands outside with a key attached to a kite. It might not kill me.
Supposedly that story is a fabrication.
I totally,
Yeah, I think it's more like an allegory.
absolutely a fake
I
story.
want to believe it's real. I want to believe it.
I would
was
not
real.
doubt there would be somebody out there that would have done that just to prove that lightning is attracted to metal
Right.
things.
Ben Franklin, Florida, manning himself just to prove a point.
Somebody had the hots for Zeus. Somebody wanted to.
We don't talk
Unfortunately,
about we don't talk
That was
about Ben Franklin and we don't put the word hot in Ben Franklin in the same sentence.
I was about to say Ben
hey,
Franklin trying to
hey,
pull
hey,
Uno reverse card in Zeus.
Hey! Ben Franklin was smashing. All right, he was going to
Yeah, he
France
was.
and fucking. All right.
Yeah, we don't talk about how he wrote a fucking memoir about how older women are better than younger women. but
Also, apparently, it did actually happen, but so
that's why it
he,
was contested.
so it happened, but it never got struck by lightning, and everyone says that if it did, he would have died because it would have electrocuted
It
him.
depends, actually. I know several people who've been hit by lightning and survived. The thing is,
That's fair.
to give a one anecdotal example, because it depends on where you're struck and what part of your body the electricity routes through. If it goes through a vital organ, in particular your heart, you may suffer tachycardia, where unless something corrective is done, your heart will beat in a false rhythm that will then result in you passing away because oxygen will be, where blood will be wrongly oxygenated. There was a guy when I was hiking in the Alps way back when I was like late teens, early 20s.
Oh, Adelaide.
And I knew this guy. I was standing there as we were climbing a mountain, walking through a crevasse, as there was a lightning storm raging overhead. We were trying to get to one of the cabins that are regularly dotted up the mountains in the Alps. There are like drying cabins where you can put your clothes up to unsoak, because when you reach a certain point in the mountain, you're walking through the clouds, and those will unilaterally soak all of your clothing through no matter what you try to do. You're walking through water vapor, so you just get soaked. Just fucking freezing when you're that high up on a mountain. We walked through a crevasse, and this one guy, I believe he was a scoutmaster, he bent over at one point to pick something up off the ground, which is right when Zeus decided to take offense to being mooned and hit the man square in the right ass cheek with a lightning bolt.
Oh my god.
He jumped and he went a couple feet, and that leg was pretty much dead to the world for a good while. But he survived, and that leg eventually healed. Because generally speaking, electricity doesn't, like, when electricity flows through your body and is conducted, what it basically does is it burrows a micrometer wide tunnel through your body, in one end, out the other. It also stimulates muscles to spasm and other such. In normal skeletal muscles, like in your leg, that can be corrected by your nervous system fairly easily after a bit of healing or even just time to sort itself out. Hearts, on the other hand, cannot malfunction for very long without being life-threatening. Likewise, if you get hit in the head, because your bone is great at insulating, not that great, because air is one of the best insulators in nature, and if lightning is enough static electricity to punch through enough highly insulating air from a cloud down to the ground, it can get through your skull. And it can get through 2 inches of rubber if you're wearing rubber boots. What some people don't know is that stuff that is things that can insulate you can only insulate you so much. If an electric charge is powerful enough, sometimes it will punch through insulating materials. It happens sometimes with rubber boots. So they can help you, but not always. Anyway, that was a tangent. On the wonders of lightning safety, if you're out in a lightning storm, don't. If you must be out in a lightning storm, go low.
And don't forget about thunder snow.
Oh boy, yeah. Which by all rights should be some sort of obscure terrain or status effect in an RPG, but it's the actual real life thing.
I like to think that it's very much like volcanic lightning. It looks like a metal album cover, and I can vibe with that. Anyways, before we start another Ram rant, we were playing Dungeons and Dragons.
We were,
or
Pathfinder.
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 Yes. I was kind of doddering a little bit because we're missing a party member.
Yeah,
yes.
June is eating dinner, but she'll slurp that down.
Anyway, the wagon is hitched up. The mammoth horses are ready to go. Supplies are loaded, and Maria has conferred with Jane and John, who have continued off to go deal with whatever they're going to deal with. In the meantime, she's waiting for everybody to gather up in the cart so she can eventually so you guys can set off, but also in case you guys have any questions about the intel that she can deliver to you, so she can do it once you're all in one place and you preferably outside the city limits.
That tracks.
As convenient as that silent table spell is, if you'd rather not have Hello burn a higher level spell slot, if the problem can be solved just by scooting outside the town for a little bit. I believe beyond that, we have a somewhat tired-looking Malady and a very tired-looking Chaika. If at all, she shows herself from her room.
Yes. Yes, she will. But she's wearing a mask.
A not tired-looking Chaika, masked-looking Chaika.
Ah, yes, of course.
Oh my goodness.
Sluggish-looking Chaiko.
So which one is this one?
What?
Well, I've known 3 of you now. Is this a 4th one with...
I'm just Chaiko.
Okay.
I believe it is the mask that Chaiko has been wearing this entire time.
That's right.
Yep.
You introduced yourself. That's correct. I had forgotten this.
Well, that and
Psycho.
to be and to be fair, the original mask is somewhere in that fucking ice cave. Long,
Right.
it's,
Sitting at the
because
bottom of the river.
she never went back for it. So she had to get a new one, which she got for some reason at a fucking clothing store. Got 3 other masks.
Well, in Mordaunt, where masks are very much in fashion.
Still find it weird. I get it from a clothes store, but you know what? Hey, I'm not. At the end of the day, I ain't complaining. I just find it weird. Thank you, weird.
At least I ain't weird. Says the
Mm. No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I said I thank the weird.
Thank the weird. I see. I thought you said I ain't weird. No, I was like, ah, yes. the multi-personality Kitsune forge criminal is not weird.
Of course not.
See, everybody here in this party is a relatable kind of weird. One's half noodle. One's on the run. One is thinking about being king. One's a fish. One's a unicorn, minus the horn.
Hold on.
One's an immigrant. And the other guy has a sword.
What?
One is
How is that weird?
I was about to say I was about to say Flick is also on the run.
True.
Yeah, I was about to say we have 3.
Yeah.
Well, we have 3 people currently, but actually we have 4 people on the run technically, if we count Mallory running from the duchies, and we count Vark currently on the run from these criminals, and we count Flick being Flick, and we count Chaiko being Chaiko.
Look, man, I'm not on the run. So long they don't find me in the duchies, I'm good.
I'm not on the run so long as they don't find me. is on the run, but that's fair.
Which is right when a hand clamps itself over Malady's mouth from behind and drags him into an alleyway.
No! No!
Does this smell like chloroform? Anyway.
Our fanboys being abducted.
No! Save me.
Not the evil femboy.
Also, I'll be right back again.
Oh, good.
I distinctly remember having a conversation with Mallory that said, "Don't get in my way, no matter what." So, I guess this is getting in his way.
Yeah. Besides what Siren wanted to do, that being scratching around for religious information, is there anything any people need to get out of the way before they head off?
I don't believe so, at least not on my end.
Okay, Kari has a
I'm
no.
good.
Jack goes a no.
I'm currently still in my familiars about how I nearly died again while they were gone.
I'm sure they know.
I need to buy some rabbits.
No,
Rabbits.
please, no more pets.
No, for
Dead
for
rabbits.
the-
Dead rabbits for the hawk. For the
Uh,
falcon, I mean.
With a bird.
Yeah, I need to go
Bird.
to the butcher's real quick.
Putting aside the spellbook thing that I asked you a while ago, Quest, I think right now, no. So if you're okay with it, we can say that Varg went there
Mhm.
and he spent at least some time, copying spells.
Mhm.
But that doesn't have to be now. We can discuss this, after the session.
That makes sense.
At the very least, it does seem like you guys intend to make one last pass through the city on the way back to Lorbus. So if nothing else, it can be done then. But yes, after the session would also work. Or possibly at a different day. Yeah. That's a million. Lick, anything from you?
I think he would still be
Right.
BRB.
It is. Yeah, in that case, it seems like you guys have nothing else you want to get out of the way besides what Siren wanted to do. As we all know, Siren wants something important.
Yes.
Damn. True.
Agreed.
Religious stuff. Definitely not anything Mallory would care about.
Yeah, why would you go to church? You serve some moon harlot. I serve the.
Some moon heart. Damn.
And you
Okay,
get
so
upset over a piece of rock that I stood on. That sounds pretty religious nut jobby to me.
someone's about to get smited by God.
That's true.
Alright, I'm back.
You assume they
They
care.
are.
The religious what's the word? The religious makeup of the party is very interesting. We have Sky Noodle or rock or space rock worshiper, space light worshiper, and then me. Cthulhu Fatagan, Cthulhu Fatagan, Cthulhu.
I don't worship the space light. I worship the light and a concept.
And apparently that rock I stood on once.
No, because that was against the law. I mean, against the general rules. So that's not just. So I judge you for it.
I see.
Horned man judges you.
He's not horned anymore. He's no longer horny. He removed his horn.
Right.
Damn.
He has been purged. His horniness.
Now you're just femboy.
No.
Very judgmental.
No.
You're no longer horny femboy. You're just femboy. How
He's
do
a
you
very
feel?
he has a very judgmental femme. As we
Yes.
A tsundere. So someone needs.
Tsundere.
No, I'm kidding. All right, before we get off on this, Flick, was there anything you wanted to do in town before we headed out?
No.
Okay.
Excellent. Then Siren stuff we can potentially handle at a later point,
Yeah, we can just roll it back, I
or
guess.
potentially after the session if she's not back by then. Just depends. But yeah, and with that the cart trundles forth.
Are we
Brundle?
Are we heading to the mansion or the
The
tower?
tower. Yes.
The tower. There we go. Thank you. I
Ready?
couldn't-
We're the Vark's tower, right?
Yes.
Tower,
Lydia's
tower,
tower.
tower de Vark.
Oh, not my tower.
Tower de Vark.
Tower D Vark.
Tower de Vark.
I hope. Yeah, look. I'm good. You can continue. I'm good. Whatever you want to say.
Gonna say, if her name had been Fence, it would have been Tower of Defense. Ocarina. Anyway, so the cart trundles forth out of the city limits, and you do so in pretty solid silence for a good 5, 10, 15 minutes, occasionally interrupted by bird song, the babbling of a brook nearby, and the occasional hello within the cart.
Oh, how I appreciate their existence.
Exactly. You get it. You know.
You don't have to lie to yourself, Arya.
It makes it easier.
Well, glad I'm not on that cart.
I mean, you're riding next to it. You'd still hear the hello. You just wouldn't be trapped in there with it.
Hello, hello. Well. Oh.
That's stupid. Now, Grim, that only
Okay, I'm
works. It only works on
God
Pastor's
damn it.
greatest enemy. Welcome back, sir. Wonderful.
Wow.
Nothing.
back.
We literally just left town because we were like, oh, we'll just hit it after session, and then Right is like, all right, let's go. It was really funny. You just
Yep,
it was
Oh.
we just left. Yes. That's fine. Sarah, you wanted to hit up the local churches.
Yep.
Specifically on potential knowledge about your father.
Yes.
Okay.
Starting with the Maluna Church.
Roll me a knowledge religion.
Okay. Knowledge. Oh, another banger skill I have.
Oh,
And that's a
man.
nat 20, so
a
it's
nat
a
20.
31.
Very good.
Well, if you didn't find anything about your father, you find something about God.
Yeah.
Now give me the knowledge religion for I believe the other one was Sleeper and Shadow Church, I believe.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me that as well.
Mm-hmm. A 24.
Still not bad.
And
So-
guidance on both. Why not? So 32 and 25.
Sure thing. So
Although, I
Hmm?
think I had to say that before.
you would have had to say that before, yes. Given this
It's
is a
fine.
fairly
31,
narratively
24.
loosey-goosey thing, I'm not too bothered about it at the moment. If this were like in combat or at a time where there was pressing pressure, I would have been much more of a stickler about it. Anyway, going around the churches in Rabido, specifically prying into the records and any anecdotes or verbal history lessons you can dig out of some of the older clergy about celestials, those creatures which communicate with mankind on occasion in the place of the gods, acting as go-betweens. Not quite angels, not quite, definitely not anywhere close to being gods, but also a step removed from mortality. Those creatures which so rarely, but always with good reason, descend down to pass on information or knowledge or warning, prophecy to the mortal realm. You inquire about any of the known and even named celestials that descended. And well, the list is short. The list of known and cataloged celestials is already pretty short. In particular, those affiliated with the faith that the church is actually concerned with, but they still keep a tally of what manifestations they know about. Overall, you know that from this research that celestials overall don't tend to stay very long on the plane. Whether as a result of their presence there being unstable, or simply because they have things to do in service of their god. Either way, most celestials don't tend to stay on the mortal plane very long. Also, because there is a known tendency, or at least rumored legends of some celestials that stayed on the mortal plane too long and became mortal as a result, taking up a little too much of that mortal matter into their bodies, losing their ability to once more climb into the celestial realm. Few and far between are stories like that. Fewer still are those with known names and even a history documented. There is some record of the celestial wind known as Rashan. It was known that he descended sometime approximately 200 years ago, possibly more, where he rescued a group. Potentially, the writing is old and the words are archaic to the modern use. The words used might mean actually I might have you roll with linguistics for this, but without it, the words might mean small band or even small army. Whatever the case.
Linguistics?
Yes, you want to have a better idea of what exactly this is saying. Nah,
Sure.
even with
Yeah.
even yourself not necessarily being a baby.
Mhm.
66 being a pretty well, actually it's considered a fairly juvenile age for most elves. Um,
Mhm.
the documents that you managed to, because first-hand accounts and word of mouth is there, it's just not very good. You have to assume many of the clergy who might have known something might have moved on or passed away in the in-between time. Possibly not even pass it on to somebody else. So you go to the written word in both churches, and you find record of this Rashan, who descended something like 200, possibly more years ago, to rescue a group of difficult to determine size from a threat which emerged from a swamp south of Rosano, joining to the north of Flaminsk. A monster
Oh.
that supposedly could slay with a look,
Oh.
and supposedly a priestess within that detachment, however many there were. Back then, this would have been the borders of what the Quadranon had access to in terms of territory. This was during the most wild and unregulated days of the wars between, or the conflict between the Quadranon and the crusading Eridine. But supposedly a priestess in their ranks beseeched the Outer Realms for help and managed to summon and persuade a powerful spirit of wind to assist them. When the fight was over and the creature was slain after several, you're unsure what the word might mean. Given the context, it might mean a few, it might mean dozens, depending on the actual size of the group. But still, men were slain, and the spirit named itself Rashan to those who bore witness and rescued them. Supposedly, it was supposed to leave shortly afterwards, but the priestess continued to speak with it. It remained for a time more, and something most uncharacteristic that they noted. The spirit didn't seem reluctant to stay. Celestials are known for being fickle and not dedicating being very choosy with their time and attention that they dedicate to mortals. Usually only doing their job and then leaving. Something must have struck a chord between them. This priestess would go on to continue to serve in the Crusades, though what record there is of her is tattered and not very much there anymore. Old records.
And Siren wouldn't remember, or I don't know if she would, anything her mom told her about her.
Your
being
mom
a
told you.
priestess in her past?
Your mom told you
Oh.
that she used to be part of an adventuring party with a couple
Yep.
of what are now good friends. One of whom is unfortunately passed on, but another who is a family friend, unfortunately,
Mhm.
lives a bit abroad And lastly, your father, who joined them in their travels. And your mother,
Okay.
as you knew it, was herself a priestess.
I see.
Specifically, checking quickly, a second. She herself did not worship Maluna, unlike yourself. Second. That's real quick. She worshipped Pro, the personification of the air and wind, and whose moon symbolizes fall, autumn.
Oh. And how is that spelled?
HRO.
Okay. All right.
Wait, who is a god?
We were talking about the god that Siren's mom worshipped, that being the god of wind. The god of elemental wind, I should say. This is one of the big elemental aspects, who is personified and represented by the green moon.
Okay.
So, if that's all of the information I can get from asking around and from reading written word, and also assuming, in the whole interim of this, that she would have, stopped to pray a little bit at the Maluna church and offer a little offering. I think that's all she can do here.
There's one thing you would notice
So-
visiting the Malunite church, especially with that religion rule, is that going to the Malunite church, seeing the effigies, seeing the way that the people who pass through the church, and the prayers they offer and the focus they have. The Malunite church here in Rabido, especially being one of the countries that is her probably her strongest base of worship, given the focus on arcane magic here, and her being a patron of arcane casters. There's much more focus on that aspect of her. Very little, if almost no homage is paid to that which you revere, that being her aspects of dream and sleep and peace. Not that it's disregarded, it's just not in priority, it seems.
But there is mention of it, at the very least.
It's there in her list of domains and her epithets, but it's always ranked lower than anything regarding magic or the elements.
Understandable. Maybe it is more how she directly affects people. Huh. Okay. Well, I think that's all I have for here.
Okay. In that case, we will jump forward. Back to the cart. Hello.
Back to the cart.
Yes, as you're now trundling along. Now, everybody present, as some time passes in quiet, occasionally interrupted by ambient noises and the birds. Beautiful bird song, as Maria then speaks up and says, "So Jane and Joe did in fact get in touch with me last night. Mallory, you already know this well enough. They managed to pass on some information to me, as well as what we're potentially dealing with. It's both better and worse than I had anticipated. We are dealing with a family known as the Dulagavanes, which are supposedly not quite as fresh-blooded as I had assumed. from what it seems like, they were once a prominent crime family, then receded, got pushed out by the rest, and are now trying to crawl their way back into prominence. In exchange, they've been taking tips and resources from an unknown benefactor, which has been helping them to shore up their efforts to rebuild a power base within Rabito. And one of the tips they were passed was about a young man with coal skin who was supposed to be coming home, and he would be holding a key to Lydia the Rose's tower. And the further the information going that tower contains potentially thaumaturgic experiments that have not been. Lydia being known for being ahead of her time in terms of conjuration and planar studies. There could be all sorts of untapped and thaumaturgic experiments that haven't been seen for decades hidden in the basement or anywhere in that tower, and they're hoping to profit off that. Figure, that much we already know. Problem is their roots are a little bit deeper than we thought, so uprooting them is going to be a bit harder. They're not just a bunch of thugs that built themselves up a little bit. They have a history within Rabito. I've got Jane and John on that as best they can. Hopefully, with their efforts, whatever we end up facing isn't going to be as bad as it could be. You should still be on guard.
Do you think they'll try to ambush us at the tower?
Absolutely.
If not at the tower, some point before it, I'd say. Rather than potentially risk allowing us to flee inside of it and lock them out. They're probably going to try and get us before it. Unless... on the off chance that they're going to wait until we're at the tower, and then if we try to flee inside by opening the door, then try and slip in either after us or while the door is open.
Do you
Either
think they'll have spies anywhere in the streets?
out here, maybe. They might have people sitting in the trees watching and relaying messages as we continue, which is probably why after this point we shouldn't discuss any sort of plans we have too in depth, unless we want to have Hollow use one of his spells. Hello.
Can I ask you to take a gander at the DM one more time real quick? Mr. DM.
Yes, you may.
If he...
Yes. Maria lastly caps it off by saying, "We should expect resistance. We might not. It might not even be just the one ambush. If it's, I was originally assuming just one ambush because I was expecting less resources. If it's as bad as I think, and this is their one shot to try and really get a foothold within the city again, they may throw more at us, and they may have more at their disposal than just one ambush worth of manpower and materials. Especially given what we were seeing with those highwaymen way back when we first got into the country. They're being supplied with some pretty decent weapons. I would expect more than just decent quality blades. I would not be surprised if they employed every tactic in the book. I mean, nets, poisons, whips, dogs, anything really. Anything
I can cook up some poison if we need to.
Can you help counteract poison?
Yeah, something.
You know,
Someone
could
can
I
at least level the playing field.
Could I theoretically would make antivenoms or like
My
or just
whole process is if you can make the poison, you'd probably know how to cure the poison.
I'm also slightly resistant to poison myself.
You can make any alchemist can make a general purpose antivenom, which gives you a bonus to rolling against poison, rolling poison saves or fort saves against poison. I believe it's for an hour. I know it was
Is there a
used
way
early
Holo
on in the
Holo
campaign.
Is there a way Holo Holo can maybe make like a stronger variation of it? Just considering his.
I would say if you want to make the way proper antivenoms are made, they are purpose made to each poison.
Oh yeah, that I know. I'm just saying, but just a strong generalist antivenom is what I'm trying to say.
No, I would say the antivenom, the general antivenom as it is about as strong as you can make it. If you make specific antivenoms and you're able to guess what sort of venoms are coming, what sort of poisons is going to come up in the fight, then those would be more powerful because they would be specialized, but also potentially useless if the poisons you run into aren't them.
How many hours are we out from?
You are about 2.5 days of travel from.
Since Holo read several fucking treaties on the nature of this place, of this general region, would I know of maybe like some typical sources of like venom, poison, stuff like that could potentially crop up if that's what they would, if they are going to even use that? We don't know, but that's come prepared.
A decent point.
Would you like me to roll something?
Knowledge nature with a circumstantial +2 bonus.
Yes, and I get that nice. I get that spicy +2.
Substantial. If it helps, I do also
38
have...
natural 20.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Wowee!
All right.
Holy
Rolling
Christ
hot.
alive.
I'm glad you're
I
getting these
can't
out of the
wait
way
for-
before combat.
Yeah, if you noticed, I haven't rolled a single time this session except once for a history check I expected to fail. Holo, I'm sorry for next week, or well, rather the next 2 weeks.
Oh boy.
It's okay. If I can give us an edge with this, potentially, that would be nice.
True, I will absolutely always take an edge, but I'm also going to lament what may come.
So what kind of noxious mixture did you
Edging,
make?
so you can... Never mind.
No, I didn't make it. This is just remembering, like, just essentially trying to remember all the like natural sources of venom and poison within this area.
Oh
From
my
what
god.
from all the natural, because Holo bought a ton of natural books on just this area's wildlife alone. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh nice.
Also, I do have detect poison, delay poison, and there is a spell that removes it, but I forget which.
Remove
I don't
poison.
remember if it's lesser restoration. There's a poison, like there's a thing that removes like this and this and this, and one of them is poison.
It'll probably be
I have
one of the restoration spells.
Probably.
But if you want to remove specifically poison, that'll be neutralize poison, which is a 4th level spell.
Oh.
I have a spell called Accelerate Death. It is sharp, pointy, and
Ah, yes. Actually, that's the same thing.
yeah, I think we
I
all
do
have.
too, yeah.
I did just learn spellcasting, and I did pick it up.
Oh my goodness.
There
Yeah.
it is. It's called Power Attack. No, I'm kidding.
It's called What
I
a
have,
strange spell. What a strange spell.
I have a really cool spell too. It's called Poke. What happens is if I poke you, you die instantly.
Oh wow.
No, your special spell is called I crit on a 15 or above.
Yes, yeah,
What?
no, that's my spell. Crit.
That's
Oh my goodness.
Rapiers have a crit range of 18 to 20. Because of one of his things from being a swashbuckler, he counts as having the improved critical feat for rapiers. Other one-handed stabbing weapons, which doubles his critical threat range, which brings it to a 15 to 20, which means he has a 1 in 4 chance on an attack to crit.
Fuck you, by the way.
Anything that's anything that's not a nat 20 still has to beat their AC. But a nat 20 automatically hits them regardless. And there's also still confirming the critical. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about how it was 20 plus sessions before I actually got my first crit that confirmed because the other two got negated.
Yeah.
Fucking Jake
Wow.
actually has a 1 in 4 chance to fucking get a crit, and I find that beautiful.
It's a
Yes, murder.
So when does combat come in? Because I would like to roll my low initiative, please. No, I'm kidding.
Mm.
When I wanna say something mean to the people so they catch fire and die.
I,
I see.
I
Well,
specifically want to climb them.
well, so
I'm gonna
some of
summon my
the
noodle dad.
some of the more common sources here would obviously be looking for insects, probably, and plants, as none of the books showed any sort of innately poisonous frogs or any type of amphibians and such. It was mostly insectoid and plant life, with a couple poisonous fungi out there that can be potentially used in a timely fashion. Because in some of the cases, some of the poisons are not very applicable, as they take anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour to set in sometimes.
But yeah, any quick fasting nasty ones though?
There's the old tried and true blue winnis.
Oh, we know that one.
Yeah, I have that one.
Oh.
Yep. There's also such things as draught cap fungus,
Ooh.
which is used for particular cases of very vindictive assassins or just others. One second. Double checking. There's also giant
Oh, jeez.
wasps, which, fun
Mhm.
times.
And I take it that's a very pain-focused venom, knowing the animal.
Let me check real quick.
Inflammatory.
Giant wasps. Does dex damage. It's for paralysis.
Oh, correct.
Let's see.
Can we add for flavor that the part swells up?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
There's also a common, fast-spreading, grows almost like kudzu, with how quickly it grows in some areas. Something known as goblin vine, from which the oil, if extracted and applied to the skin, makes the recipient nauseous.
But you guys just see Holo just immediately pick himself up, take out a little like writing board, and he just starts, or just like a piece of paper, and just starts writing all this like.
Yep. Yes, the goblin vine is often used as something sometimes like put in people's drinks, or just you slap it on somebody's back as a joke. It's usually in poor taste because rather than just being like itchy, it straight up makes you want to vomit.
Or coated on a weapon, I presume.
Yes, it is
Potential?
a contact poison, so it works either with contact or with injury.
Is that the thing that Vark used to have in capsules when he tried to make that vomit capsule with that wyvern way back in like session 2?
That is a different thing. That is a different alchemical item.
What? I thought it was like
It
session 3 or
it is
something.
specifically called a vomit capsule, actually.
Yes, it's called the
That's
vomit
really
capsule.
cool.
It was also
That was-
the session that anti-venom was used for the first time.
Was it?
Yep.
Was it session 2 or 3?
I think it was like
It was one of the earlier ones. It was
Definitely
we had honestly, it might have even been like 5 or 6 because it took us
Maybe.
about 3 sessions to get to the village in the first place.
Yeah.
Before we get off track, sorry.
I forgot that because I have this very comprehensive list of poisons, diseases, and curses that I draw from occasionally when I think it's time to get nasty. And I forgot there's actually rules for the use of hydrofluoric acid.
Ugh.
Oh.
Oh
We
no.
acid attack somebody. That would be pretty.
Fluoric acid
no.
it's technically categorized as a poison. It is a contact poison with a DC 20 reflex save. No, fortitude save. DC 20 fortitude save. Lasts for a minute. Hits you once per round for 6 rounds. Does 1d2 strength damage, 1d2 con damage, and 2d6 acid damage repeatedly on the first save. Yes, just constantly eats away at you quickly. It's nasty.
But yeah.
One
But yeah.
one-
Holo.
one that you
Oh,
know
go ahead.
is sometimes used against overly aggressive spellcasters or just used in the
Yeah.
subdual of casters is something known as Idmos. It's a little bit rare. It tends to grow in dark, cold, damp caves in areas with rich ambient magic. It is known for, well, if the name didn't give it away, sapping somebody of their intellect until it leaves them a drooling, base instinct mess.
Oh, that's
In
bad.
I was about to say,
in
I was about to say it's like that. Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Go ahead.
in crunch terms, it takes 10 minutes to set in with a DC 14 fortitude save. After that, it ticks once per minute for 6 minutes, so 6 times. And on every failed save, they take 1d3 intelligence damage.
Ooh. Is damage the one that just can't come back, or is it the one?
Damage is the one that can heal. It's drain that can't be
Okay.
healed.
Okay, I always get the two mixed. Okay.
It's kind of easy to get the two mixed up. It's especially if they're not brought up relatively frequently. It's hard to get it can be difficult to get familiar with them.
Because I thought it was like, oh fuck, that could just literally just kill you.
Well, yeah.
Because
Thankfully, let's keep it that
Okay.
way so we don't learn
Yeah.
drain. How about that? Let's
Yeah.
just.
Yeah. Yeah, just we'll see once until we get to mid to high play. But yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was thinking when you said Idmos, I maybe thought of that one ability that Cabal had when we did 5th edition Genesis. It was the id insinuation combat mode.
Ah,
Oh
yes.
god, it
Yeah,
insinuated.
insinuation. God.
Oh.
Yes.
Um.
The last one, I would say, two.
mhm.
Last two. That you would know. There is one that could also be potentially a problem, but it's not really native to here. It's more of a Dutchy thing. It's called skin sap. It comes from a mangrove tree that grows on the coast of the southern duchies. Sometimes it's imported up north, but it's usually not an issue here. Though it has sometimes invaded as a invasive species on the coast, but usually the druids are pretty quick to call it. God, there's actually something called purple keef. Let me tag it.
Give it to me.
No. Purple keef does con and strength damage, and
Okay,
it knocks
don't
you
give it to me.
knocks you unconscious for an hour if you fail to save.
Why'd you have to ask about poisons, Hollow Hollow? This is sounding like he didn't realize that these existed, and now I'm gonna hit you with a truck.
No, I knew these existed because I occasionally go through this list. It's just I remind myself because there's something like 200 in the poisons alone.
Ah, yeah, that's fair.
Da-da-da. There's there's two more poisons to be wary of. One of which is you would know about because you're a poison maker, and it's something that's easy to batch together, called salvo. It's salvo is a general term poison makers use for a type of poison that didn't quite turn out as expected, or became like a mixed, muddled mess with other poisons. So some poison makers make it because they assume, oh, mix multiple poisons together. It's more of a strain on the receiver's body. So clearly, that just makes it a better poison. Unfortunately, some poisons interfere with one another. Salvo is one often implemented by criminal elements with a lower budget. So you might expect that. And lastly, of all the natural growing plants within the Quadranon, there is one that is most feared. One that many parents warn their children away from. There are nursery rhymes, mnemonics created to teach the appearance of it to the children and teenagers who might go out and accidentally eat it. They are semi-rare. They tend to be located further into the thickest parts of the forests. They grow more plentifully in the swamps to the south in Flaminsk. They're called moonberries. They are
Oh no.
bright white
Ooh.
berries that shimmer like in moonlight, even in dim light. Their leaves are a scintillating dark blue ranging to a deep purple. The flowers are iridescent, as in the petals are see-through and shine like rainbows. The berries, while the flower might otherwise be attractive to some of the more powerful, not more powerful, but some of the more magical creatures out there, including magical insects that might be adapted to consume the berries, to humanoids and to other creatures not adapted to feeding on them, they are incredibly poisonous, to the point where simply swallowing 2 or 3 of the berries or having the oil applied to your skin, if you were to mash them up and apply them to the skin bare, might kill a man within a round, within seconds. The poison is so fast acting that all it took one time was a child to reach into a moonberry bush, be warned by his mother, and then in his panic crush the berry in his hand. Before she even had a chance to say goodbye, the child fell over, stone cold.
Jeez.
Mechanics terms,
so
mechanics terms, moonberries are a contact and ingested with a DC 18 Fortitude save. Activation time of 1 round. It works once, so you only have to save against it once. But if you fail, you take 3d6 Constitution damage.
Oh.
Holy
And if
hell.
if that
Wow.
drives you to 0, you are dead.
Holy
And
hell.
for most commoners, they have a Constitution of 10 or 11. Children are even lower.
Oh,
Well, damn.
Oh.
Jesus.
it's called. I mean, they're called moonberries. It's like they're destined to come into my pocket.
Remember,
Holo is just-
wolfsbane is also something that's lunar oriented, and that thing kills you.
It's also
Siren was never seen or heard from again.
It's yes. There's
not gonna eat
there's
them.
totally not a shadowy assassin assassin cell in the what do you call it, in the Malunan Church at all that use moonberries as a calling card poison. Never, no.
Yeah, ritualistically
Oh,
applying
God.
it to their daggers.
I want to make moonberry
God.
They
wine.
use kopeshes because they're
Moonberry
shaped like
wine.
they use
I want
sickles
to
of
make
kopeshes.
moonberry wine.
No, Holo was going to like make maybe potentially very few like specific antivenoms, but that one he's definitely making us try. He's gonna try to make a specific antivenom for just in case.
Okay. If you
Um,
want to make an antivenom for that, on the trip there, you're going to have to find moonberries.
and carefully foraged.
It's
Wear gloves, dum dum.
I mean,
Wear
there's
gloves
no
and do it
shit.
outside, not indoors. We've learned
But
that
yeah,
mistake.
so honestly, for the next few days of travel, just alongside the cart Holo, and at night is going to just go around and forage like for like poisonous ingredients for antivenoms and also poisons alike.
okay. That will just
Mhm.
be a craft, I believe, forge.
Yep. Okay. Craft alchemy, you say? Do you want me to do? Do you want me to do it for both days, or just one? Just all in one day?
Do it for both.
Okay.
Each day gives you a new try.
And he's dead. No, I'm kidding.
32
Okay.
and 24. Damn, that's one of the lowest ones.
Nice.
Yeah,
That is
nobody's
a three.
asking any questions why this strange aquatic elf is so good with poisons. To the point it would make some of the most veteran assassins out there green with envy.
Yeah, you know, we don't ask questions in this group. That's how Chico got away with being a criminal for a year. We don't press.
No.
it's- there's
After
no-
the void, not the void. No, yeah, after the void corruption, we ask questions now.
Yes,
There's that.
It's actually a deep corruption.
Deep
Sarah.
corruption, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
I mean,
The void corruption is a different thing I have to deal with.
Eh,
Yeah, that's a bit more existential. It's what people in this world used to refer to just general depression. Anyway,
I'm falling into
Yeah.
it's an empty pit in your soul. Anyway, so yes.
ooh,
Hello. In the time it takes for you guys to trundle through the woods, you do take the occasional break when the horses need to be fed and watered to hunt around in the glades and in the thickets for potentially useful things. Right, yes. You find basically everything you had on your list, as well as a couple of other things. You find I'll more or less say you find the ingredients for everything you're looking for, including the potential ingredients for oil of Taggett, and also you also find a couple of fiddleback spiders.
those do.
Let me check.
Oil.
Let me check. Fiddleback venom. Fiddleback venom. Injury or ingested. DC 13. Takes a minute to activate. Causes on a failed save causes nauseated for 1d4 rounds. On a second failed save, 1d3 strength damage and 1d4 con damage. So first it makes you sick,
That is
and then it makes you crumble on the inside and weak.
I see. The only problem with that one is that it's a very low fortitude. It's very resistant. You can resist it fairly easily, I think. But I'm good. That's still useful. I can keep that. So how much of the other ingredients would you say I found? And also, what does oil of Taggett do?
Oil of Taggett.
Or the yeah.
Yeah. Well, Taggett, which you make the oil out of, is an ingested poison. Generally speaking, not something you would have to worry about in combat, but if somebody were to slip it into your drink, it might not be bad. Oil of Taggett knocks you out for 1d3 hours. It is just straight up knockout poison.
Out of character, I'm getting very close to the point to where when I can imbue my hexes with ingested poisons. I'm keeping.
Which could be really nasty.
I'm-
With Oil of Taggett, it takes a minute to
Which-
come into effect, so it's not immediate. But if they fail their save, they're out.
does it count as rested if you consume that?
No.
Ah,
Dang.
well,
I'm trying,
I'm
to use
sorry,
You're
it,
at
Hugo.
the-
I'm trying to use it as some sort of sleeping drug.
Like
God.
if I abuse one substance, I might as well abuse another.
Oh, but
Man,
you
there
know,
goes-
I
there goes my
do- I have
melatonin.
Actually, I have a spell that helps with that. It reduces the amount of time you need to sleep to an hour. If it's cast upon you, you just sleep for an hour and you get a full.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
actually, let me verify if it is an hour. Continue.
Oh yes, catnap. But that's interesting. How many moonberries did I get?
Right. I meant to narrate that.
Mm-hmm.
It is when you break for the night on the end of the first day. You do one last foray into the woods, the very southern depths of Rosaima. And following,
Okay, so it's 2 hours actually, and I don't have it yet. Oh yes, I do. Never mind. Sorry.
following an animal trail into the depths of the woods, looking for telltale signs for, well, anything, but most importantly, the moonberries, since they are, if the guild has any, and knowing them, probably have the resources to at least get their hands on some of it. And if it means leveling that against your group, then it may very well, and as such, pays to be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me 1d4 plus 1 and another craft alchemy.
1d4 plus 1 and a craft alchemy. Roll 20s being a little weird still. Okay, there we go.
Ow! Don't bite me.
So that'll be 2.
Did the other
And craft out 28.
coming into a forest glade, which is empty of all besides a single bush sitting in the middle where a beam of moonlight comes through the canopy. The silvery light glitters and dances on the rainbow petals of the moonberry bush. Full bloom. Alongside having its berries, which is most unusual, at least for normal plants, flowering and fruiting. There's a distinct feeling of inviting, like it's beckoning you to take it. It's a very appealing looking plant. It's pretty, colorful. But you know its dangers. With a pair of gloves oiled to make sure nothing can seep through them in case of an accident, very gingerly you rifle through the bush and find 2 solitary pearl white berries. And because of your tenderness, your handling of them, you do not crush them, and they are in good condition. You have enough berries for 2 moonberry antivenoms.
I take it 2 antivenoms is just 1 dosage, so okay.
Each antivenom will be 1 dose.
Okay, so only one.
You have enough for 2 doses.
I see. Okay.
Basically, each berry is enough to make 1 dose of antivenom.
Mm-hmm. I see. I'm gonna try to harvest more of these more often. Keyword try.
Well, you did just get one of the
But yeah,
rarest plants in this climate.
Yeah, you know,
And one of the most
I'll
deadly.
take that.
They are notoriously difficult.
Yeah.
You also know they are notoriously difficult to cultivate. Like they refuse to be cultivated. They have a history. They have a rumored history of being somewhat willful and refusing to be grown in controlled environments, which is why you don't have assassins guilds just coating all of their weapons with it.
This is like a luxury poison, I guess you could say.
Yeah. It is an exotic poison that refuses to grow anywhere except for its home climate and in very specific conditions. And going by the moonbeam coming down through the canopy, that might be one of them.
Well, there goes my plans.
No, don't cultivate the danger berry.
You know, all I'm saying is if we grow them and we keep them as a side stockpile, you know.
I out of character, if I were to have gotten like a bit of them, I was gonna like save 1 for potentially making it into like a poison.
Yeah,
but I only have 2, and it's probably much more in our favor in our.
That canis root ass plant, you know. Let's get out of there.
Yeah. So.
Actually, yeah, it is a canis root.
In addition to the 2 berries, what other stuff did I get? I know there was the mage, anti-mage, particular.
The Idmos,
poison.
yes.
Yeah.
Idmos, you managed to scrounge a handful from a damp cave hidden by a waterfall in a little nook by a pond. You get enough for 3 doses of Idmos poison. So in this case, 3 doses of antivenom as well.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, if you manage to scrounge enough of a resource to make a venomous dose, it's enough to make an anti-venom dose.
Mm-hmm.
What this is going to do is it's going to save you the cost of having to pay for the ingredients and spare us having to go. Can I just spend the gold to get the ingredients while we're out here in nature? It's like, sure, just sweep it onto the road. No, forage. Scratch in the dirt,
Forge.
like your forefathers.
I was gonna say, because Siren also, like in her life, has experience with foraging and harvesting. Could I
If you wanna
say
say-
that she would have noticed Hollow going for some of the berries and maybe helped him collect more? Or really just more of everything, actually.
You could most certainly assist.
You, I don't think Holo himself would allow you to pick up any of those berries. I think he'd be like, no,
Unfortunately,
let me do this.
there just
well, with
is.
the bear, I mean,
Yeah,
if you're
with the
using
berries.
gloves, she's also going to use gloves.
With the berries, there just isn't more than 2 in the bush right now.
Oh, I see.
They're a fairly sparse fruit to grow on a very rare plant.
Well, still, with
It is
forest foraging related, I'd like to help
most
collect
certainly
more.
assist with that. Yeah, the matter is just of the rarity in this case. Relevant skill for it.
Sure, maybe.
Nature could work. Craft alchemy if she has it. But
Survival, maybe?
survival could also work.
Actually, yeah, that's true. Survival could definitely work. And that's probably something you'll have a slightly higher bonus in too if you want to use that. Because wisdom.
So
Wisdom.
craft alchemy if you have it. Knowledge, nature, or survival.
My
Given your
knowledge
background,
nature
I'll
would be
give
the
you
highest.
yeah. In that case, also as a circumstantial +2, I'll give that to you because of your background.
Okay, I'll do guidance as well. So 20.
That's not bad.
Yay!
That is in fact
More
quite
stuff.
good.
Hey, holo, look at this pretty berry I found. No.
Mhm. Being more focused on the herbalism side of things, you're not able to track down more of the insects he's been collecting, but that's just fine. Giant wasps are kind of massive.
Oh.
Going by the
Are
name.
we talking about like a Japanese giant like hornet?
No, when I say
Have a
giant,
massive-
I mean giant. Giant wasps are horse size.
What?
Oh, damn.
Huh?
That's why they're
Some
called
pretty big
giant
wasps.
wasps.
So they're not wyvern sized, right?
Uh,
That would be a giga wasp.
A giga wasp.
yes.
A wasp.
No, it's the size of a wyvern. Wyverns are large sized as well.
Oh my god. So how did Holo
Uh-huh.
did Holo just like milk the stinger? What the fuck did he do?
That's not a bad
Never
point.
say that again.
Yes, I would say, with your knowledge, you would have been able to bring a smoke source with you and calm the wasps that way, and then milk the venom from the stinger. It would be a tense thing. They're very, very easily agitated creatures. They're also CR6. No, wait, that's why they're CR3. They are.
That stinger could be regardless, that stinger could feasibly impale me. I'm still being careful.
Yeah, you could have a Futurama Fry getting stung through moment. Poison, sting, injury, fort save, DC 18, frequency runs per round for 6 rounds. Effect 1d2 dexterity. Yes.
This leads me to 2 actual conclusions. Actually 3 conclusions. 1, those wasps are fucking huge. 2, wyverns are very small. And 3, in a few levels, Vair will be big wasp size.
Well, that's the thing. Size categories are kind of loosey goosey. They do kind of like
They
large.
hit a-
Large
I
size
know,
can be anywhere
for
from
sure.
8 feet tall to 15 feet tall.
I'm almost large size.
Yeah, you're on the cusp of it. Yeah, The the giant wasps are roughly horse size, whereas wyverns are on the bigger end of large. They would border on huge.
That's what I figured. That's what I
But
figured.
it's more about the size of your mammoth horses.
Why do I imagine it's just me and it's beekeeper Hola Hola and beekeeper Siren? Just
Walks out and sees the giant fucking bee.
Actually,
like,
yeah,
ah.
having
Releasing calm emotions.
having a second pair of hands to hold the smoke source steady while you go about extracting the venom actually would help quite a bit, and would also allow you to get more venom before then having to leave before they get agitated and decide to run you through.
Also, couldn't you put them to sleep, presumably? Do bees sleep?
Yes, they do.
Also,
or just
how
calm
do you
emotions.
milk
I
venom
actually-
from a wasp?
Same way
Don't
the
ask.
same way you do it from a spider or from a snake.
You can lower the body temperature. That's also true, right?
Yeah, you lower the body temperature. There's also an image I have saved on my hard drive. I'm going to drop it in Simple Path because it's what the fuck is going on in Simple Path?
I don't know. Stillwater being
It
a
kind of just devolved. We got
It devolved.
distracted.
Yeah, we got distracted talking about wine, and Stillwater was like, "I see America slander," even though it was a joke, and he was like, "No."
Yes, not America #1 in terms of wine, especially for the antifreeze content.
That's true.
beautiful.
Uh,
Double. Anyways, what are we seeing?
well, let me just grab this image. It's nothing relevant to the to the campaign, as it were. But I'm trying to find it. I hear baby.
What, baby? Yeah, she's just chilling. You feeling better?
Feeling like a McVillain.
Yes, you are Addie.
She's getting more and more understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you there?
Apple-bottom jeans.
Were you there when she said Bankai, but very menacingly?
It was
She
so
said
No.
it.
Yeah,
Kai.
I was
No.
because I went.
I was not there for her
"Nandeska?"
Bankai.
She went Nandeska, and then I went Bankai, and she went Bankai. It was very funny.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
that
Okay,
was
yeah.
very-
There it goes again. Bankai.
You are an echo. She's become an echo child, absolutely. Where almost everything I say is being repeated back to me. Where are you going? Okay.
Where are you going, Big Aestheticus?
Hi there. Yeah, that's what I thought. Where you going? Okay. You feeling better?
So yes.
No.
So,
You guys started the balloon. Goddamn.
Do you know the bees sleep? I love those. I love bees.
Bees. Even though I've been stung like 5 times.
I've been stung twice, maybe
so
three.
wait. So how many days how many days have we been on the road?
About one at this
2,
point.
I believe.
Well, the
Oh,
slated
no,
the
what?
slated time is 2.5 days. You guys, I'm gonna say I've been on the road for about 1.
Okay.
On the road again.
So we're 2 days in.
Hmm.
Wait a minute. I thought it was a 2-day trip.
2.5.
Are we there?
Are we there yet?
If you want to continue on things going, Rami, could you at least just message me the amounts of each I got?
I'm gonna say for the more basic poisons with Siren's help, you're able to get yourself a total of 8 dosages. For the Idmos, you're able to get yourself 4. For the Moonberries, you're able to get yourself 2.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't want the mac and cheese.
4 Idmos and just 8 for everything else, not including the moonberries. Okay.
I'll make you spaghetti later.
For
8 for
Idmos.
everything besides. 4 for Idmos, 2 for Moonberries.
And what was the name of that? What was the name of that mushroom? It's dread something. Dread.
Judge Dredd?
No,
No, Judge.
draught something.
Oh, yeah, no. No, I don't think it was Dreadnought.
Eh.
I'd
They
be
were
scared if it was
sisters. Anyway. Draught cap fungus.
Drop Cap.
It is also an ingested, and it takes 46 hours to activate.
Dang.
It does, however, dry you out from the inside.
Ooh.
Slowly over the course of 8 hours.
Red Cap.
Moistens you.
Yeah, it dehydrates you.
What? Lost Dread Cap. There was 2 other ones I believe you mentioned that were common. I forgot one. I believe they were plant-based.
Okay, so she said Bonkai again for no reason. That's fine.
Beautiful. Quite beautiful, yeah. Regardless, during that whole process, the 2 Moonberry venoms are gonna get turned into anti-venom, or the 2 Moonberry that's gonna get turned into anti-venom. Idmoth, I believe we have Chaiko, we have me, and we have Bard. I don't mean to be meta by this, but who else is intelligence? Like based when it comes. Or who? I think it's just us 3.
Probably.
As end users?
Yeah, like intelligence, primary intelligence dependent users. Yeah, so I will turn 3 dosages of the Idmoth into antivenom. Right here. Moonberry antivenom. And for the rest of what I have like 8 of individually, I'm gonna turn 4 of them each into antivenom and then keep the rest as poison.
Okay. Not finding that wish orchid. Ooh, it's the wish orchid.
And in general, and if I could use maybe like some leftover ingredients, I don't know how much you would quantify that as, but just to make like maybe a little bit of just generalized anti-venoms and stuff like that.
Yeah, and although like the less venomous off trimmings and various bits that you would cut off from the or not use, basically, more or less making the anti venom equivalent of salvo.
Yeah, essentially salvo, but not potentially going to kill you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the generalized anti-venom. Yeah.
The fun thing about salvo. As a poison is the attribute it damages each turn is randomly rolled. So if you're really unlucky, it can hit you 6 times in the same stat. Or if you're, I mean, it depends on what you consider lucky. It might hit you once, like 1d3 in each stat. It's a funky little poison.
That's nasty.
It's very unreliable.
Yeah, and I will try using just like the general trimmings. I guess I'll actually try to, and hell, maybe I'll actually even use the majority of those spiders as a base for it. I'll just try to make enough anti-venom to cover the whole party, including Maria.
That would be nice. It would be real disappointing if we go back to Lurvis with everyone dead that we sent with us.
Dragging up, the horses are dragging a train of body bags.
And this one died to poison, and this one turns out was actually evil the whole time. Maybe check your people. Looks to the points to the advisor. Anyways, and yeah, I don't know what happened to Jane and John. They just
I don't know why you think the advisor is evil. Advisors are never evil.
Oh, I don't think the advisor is evil at all. It would just point to him and go, "You might want to check your people because that one turned out to be feeding people."
I remember you. I remember. Well, first of all, there's no body for that one. Second of all, I remember before you guys left, you guys were super sus of the advisor.
I wasn't, and I will fight that.
Encounter.
Yeah, no, I I remember specifically being for the advisor and actually arguing for him that he's just very committed to his king.
Another. Do you want me to just roll a general craft alchemy for just all of this?
No, you're good. Overall, if you just took
Okay.
10, you'd be able to craft these, no problem.
Oh, okay.
Except for maybe, I'll say for the Moonberry antivenom, you would need to make a roll. So that is highly, highly noxious.
For both, or just one for both?
For both.
Once again, I'll say this. Looks at Vark. If it's dangerous, do it away from people.
Holo Holo, confident in his work. Holo Holo, incredibly confident in his work.
Siren slowly.
Eating two vials next to each other. Spills one. Wait, was that the tea or was that the Moonberry?
Only
no.
one way to find out.
Nip. Lick your finger.
Okay.
Both.
Dip your finger in
Please
both.
take it outside.
You guys would have time when you're bedding down for camp in the whenever you need to take a break to stop and actually process the ingredients and turn them into antivenoms. You would have been able to do it at a safe distance.
Okay.
Should we give it a taste
purposely
test?
do it within. I will purposely do it within Chico's distance, though. Joking. I'm not that evil yet.
Man, you really do want to put her in the Yamcha crater, don't you?
Yeah.
You and everyone else.
Okay, but yeah, let me. So yeah, two of them or just one?
Two.
Okay.
Highly noxious. Must be handled with care, and time must be taken.
32?
39.
39.
Two functional antivenoms, which will give you a hefty bonus to towards succeeding on any saves against what do you call it? Against Moonberry.
And would I know how long these dosages might last? Like if I were to ingest it like now, for example, which I'm not going to do. Just curious to do it. Would I have an idea? Like,
Well, normal antivenom in Pathfinder lasts for, I believe, an hour.
okay.
I believe I remember this from the first time you guys faced off against the Wyvern, where Vark used it when bravely facing down and then getting impaled on the stinger. Guy.
And even then, I don't even think that helped, if I remember correctly.
It helped.
I thought he failed the set.
It didn't help him. He actually beat the DC by a mile, but he also gave an antivenom to, I believe it was Flick or someone else, and that helped actually.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Flick was someone who got hit by the wyvern shit.
So-
I remember getting hit by the wyvern, and I lost 12 constitution over the span of that
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
fight.
Yeah.
Oh
Wyvern
my
Venom is
God.
nasty.
Wyvern venom was nasty, and I remember going, man, if this were anyone else, they'd probably be fucking dead. Thank God it was me.
Anyways.
Crying. Thank God it was me.
Yeah. So
Anyways.
an
Holo
a
will
normal
ration out
a
the-
normal antitoxin gives a +5 alchemical bonus on fortitude saving throws against poison for 1 hour. Antivenom is much more specific. So this is antivenom. By taxonomical terminology, it's incorrect because the way that poison and venom is categorized is different. In Pathfinder's case, antivenom refers to antidotes that are made for specific poisons. Antitoxins are general. Antivenoms, the way they work is an antivenom affects a single dose of antivenom automatically neutralizes the first exposure of the specific poison it is made to combat and provides a +8 alchemical bonus on saving throws against additional exposure to that specific poison. This bonus decreases by 1 every hour until the effect ends after 8 hours. Crafting an antivenom. To craft a dose of antivenom, a living creature must first be exposed to half a dose of the poison in question. Creature suffers the poison's effects normally. The saving throw DC to resist poison is reduced by 2. Wonder if I want to do that. Probably not.
Do you want to do? Justin, do you really want to do that for Moonberry? I mean, I can do it if you want, but
to just drop that on you? No. Also, this requirement to expose yourself to the poison to make an anti-venom kind of ass backwards.
That doesn't make sense.
I
Is that
don't
how it is in normal? In real
I-
life?
It's from the
no,
expanded book Ultimate Wilderness. It's a method of crafting specialized poisons. Or I'd say
they're taking a
antitoxins.
Mithridates approach to it, and it's kind of not really. No, that's not a good idea.
No.
Uh,
Basically, it involves the creature surviving, creating antibodies in their blood, and then using the blood to create an antitoxin.
Oh.
Which, but yeah, that's an archaic way of doing it. It's also, historically speaking, not very viable, nor reliable. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna stick with what I've gone for so far. I don't like those rules. I don't like the look of them. So yeah.
I don't want to get myself nearly killed. But yeah, I will divvy up I'll divvy up the general anti-venom up to everyone.
Mhm.
As for how I'm gonna divvy up something like Moonberry is gonna be very difficult because it's just made as a contingency just in case we came across it. So I can't really use this and give it to someone that but I will have it on hand regardless. But yeah, everyone add 1 dose of just generalized antivenom.
Neato. That said, I am starting to fade out a little bit, and it's like 10 to midnight.
I was about to say, it is actually getting pretty late.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine with me if we wrap it up here.
I think, yeah. I've been a little low energy this session.
We're getting back to it.
Yeah. When we come back after the surgery, I'll be back at full force. I'll have maps. I'll have enemies to throw at you. We'll have a whole big Vark arc, and we'll finish it.
Actually, all things
Let's
considered, by the
fucking go.
Yes, and then we can come back in,
actually
guns
all things
blazing, swinging, whatever.
all
Swinging and
things
swanging.
considered, depending if it takes 2 weeks, we might even be back to Genesis by then.
I'd say we don't want to rush it. Take our time with it.
I don't
When it's
either.
done,
Yeah,
it's
no,
done.
I want to get it at least 3 weeks. So that's true. Speaking of, tomorrow I want to steal you guys, but we'll get that after the session.
Steal us tomorrow?
Hey, Karia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let it be known you gave the not so fox a very bad idea. Just let that be known.
What
Oh,
did I
no.
do?
I forget the exact wording it was, but something face the past or something like that, or I forget the exact wording.
Oh, it was, now you have nothing. Now your past can't hold you back because the thing tying you to it is no longer here.
That wasn't it. But I mean, you did say that, but that wasn't the thing.
Oh, so was
That
it
was another
a case of Foxy selective hearing?
Yes.
Yes, probably. Long story short, if you actually want to know, probably want to mention it at some point, if not now in the future. Something. You know what? You're right. If I need to do something, essentially she's going to get her name out there now. She's going to actively put out her name.
Oh no. Is she gonna start doing Chaiko was here and a little smiley face?
Not quite, but
I think
you'll.
it might be more along the lines of Jacko was here and she's looking for
My
you.
point. Karia inspires people to go be their
Carpe
true
diem.
best selves. Asterisk.
Anyway, Grim, thank you for sending us off with the self-care. Everybody unshrimp yourselves as we send off into the night. Thank you very much. Despite not a hell of a lot happening this session, thank you for staying around and playing regardless. I look forward to getting back to this, hopefully, with more
Yes.
zest and gusto.
Good luck. Good luck with your surgery. All that.
Yes,
Oh,
best of
baby,
luck with the surgery.
good luck, I guess.
When I come back,
Rest
I will be in a
lots.
boot.
Oh, we'll get well soon. Rest lots.
Yes.
Session is always
Yeah.
fun. Thank you.
Of course, yes.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for hosting, as always.
It's always a pleasure to have you guys here. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and transition this out. You guys take care.
All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah.